All right, it is 5:45. Let's hop into the game. Yes, woo. Hop into the game. Kicking things off. Welcome back, Brackle Bath. Happy to
Woo!
have you here. Would
Good. Hold on.
anyone like
Hold on.
to?
Hold on.
Hey! Uh, both very little and a lot happen. So,
Meh.
like specific stuff, but important things. I also kind of recapped Andrew up from the last couple weeks last night.
Mhm.
So for the good of the table, a recap from last week, please.
That's from last week?
I can do this.
Just from last week.
Yeah, last week
All
was
right.
great.
Prologue, January 4th. Prologue. Arvantis is being transported in a mobile cage. Am I misremembering that?
A box,
Coffin.
Okay.
Coffin, right?
So
a big, not necessarily a coffin, just a giant box.
box by Vizik and a dwarf, traveling along the road, discussing, I think, the competition that Arvantis is about to enter.
Discussing the contest for the Blade of Lendis.
Mhm.
So this is the
Up
now
against.
we know 80 years after this is
Mhm.
what Urzok won to
So
become
the
the Eternal Blade.
Okay.
60 or so years ago at this point. Yeah.
And then let me know if there's anything else. Prologue. I'm going to move to the main story.
Yep, that's basically it from the prologue.
Okay. So it says Eric undergoes a permanent skin dyeing procedure at the skin grafter store. So his sea elf skin on his arms, hands, and shoulders, he plans to basically receive like a dye that's like perceived out of these discs and like bleeds into like under his skin. He's gonna have a camouflage. She injects the color into, I think it's Eric's left hand and up to like his wrist, going well. But then Eric tolerates the pain up until the final Constitution save, so he passes out. He's unconscious. But then Vern is undergoing his tattoo session. Meanwhile, he's got a tattoo of a dragon on his pinky. I think the aim was to communicate with the dragon.
Or anybody, but yeah.
Bronze. Oh, okay. Bronze dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Urzok, he walks into the grafting shop that Eric was in. He actually coaxes him back into waking and then comforts him for the next half of the operation. Once Eric is finished with the work, he now has two like cerulean blue hands. So all of a sudden I put down my stuff for what that does. Detect magic could see that, and have duration, some stealth checks underwater, increase modifier. Let's see here. So then the party. I'm skipping ahead. I think the party buys 2 elephants as well as 10 days of feed for which covers both
Yep.
from the Dodoran stable and Kazul. Teth confides details about Killcaster units in the bunk because we had slept before going to the stable, so maybe I put that backwards. Before Orion approaches with news of Hargrave's return to Kazul, Orion posits an offer for payment on a job of transporting prisoners to Kazat Maximum Security. The names of the elephants so far are Zondel and Simon and Garfunkel. And then once Hargrave arrives with the prisoners and her guard crew of 10, we also receive an elephant named Bagels. So the party then decides how it's very pertinent to accept the mission. Yeah, so after that long rest and seeing them in the morning with Hargrave, Crowbar is talking to the elephants. and I guess not much really happens in that conversation, but we just kind of say each other's names and everyone's names. Like, you guys cool? We're cool. Come along with us. Okay, we'll ride you. Okay. And they like food.
They do.
We've got now 2 manacled dwarves prisoners. I did not catch the names and such.
That is slightly correct. You will have 2 prisoners with you. The dwarves were the prisoners that Hargrave was bringing into Kazul. You will have separate prisoners going out with you that you haven't met yet. But you were very close. I'll give you that.
I don't know if Barlos wants. I don't think I can present our prisoners that we're going to be transporting.
Oh, the 2 images.
Is
they're-
Peepup and Gvorish Tusk. They see
One looks like
it's an old goblin dude who doesn't talk.
hmm
and the fucking Pirate King.
Exactly, yeah. Is he a Goliath?
Yeah.
He is Goliath.
Peep up.
Goliath who's had nothing to do but work out in his cell for the last 13 years.
Yeah.
He's confessed to killing 13 innocents.
You should totally probe that guy's mind, Trent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's not
That's a
just
really good
horrific
idea.
things. There's not just horrific things in there.
Yo,
of,
I've got
all of the
truth serum.
joy in Vern's eyes just disappears forever, and his
Oh
character
dude.
irreparably changed.
That's such a cool idea though. Like in hindsight, like getting madness from looking into somebody's brain
hmm
Yeah,
is such a cool idea.
I've been doing nothing but playing Darkest Dungeon, and that's immediately
Oh
what I
yeah,
thought of.
yeah. Whole mechanic there.
Yeah, just like Vern ages 15 years from stress.
The last thing I'll do is pretend that I had been planning that all along, but know that now I am stealing that, and that will happen to somebody eventually. So thank you.
What is it?
How many people can detect thoughts is the question. So
Is it
sorry,
just
Vern.
now here's
It's gonna happen to
the real
Vern.
question.
Maybe
What's the,
Brackle too. Brackle might have that.
I think you definitely probably have the ability for like the
Yeah,
Oh,
I bet
for
Sam
mind,
can
for mind, whatever.
detect thoughts.
Um,
I don't know if you have it, but you could definitely get it eventually. Don't get it now though, because it could only lead to madness. That's the
Yeah.
only path forward.
yeah, I do not have it. I have detect magic though, so that's good.
Great. Yeah, thank you for the recap, Brad. That was thorough as always. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Love doing it.
Before we go into the pregame thing, remind me who picked up those 2 grenades. Was it? I thought that it was Eric and Urzak, but I could be wrong.
What
mean, they're
grenades are you
bomb?
talking about?
I don't remember a grenade.
Grenades that you picked up off of the wall, like the bombs.
Oh, the
The arcane
bombs.
bombs.
I thought it was Eric and Urzak.
I didn't-
because there were 2 of them.
Urzak picked one up and threw it.
I wrote that.
Like
He
just got
threw
rid of
one,
it.
Yeah.
No, well, I was
I don't
gonna
know if
say,
anybody went and picked it up necessarily, but
I'm
Urzak
pretty
did not.
sure. I swear that we
thought
picked
that
up
they
the
were
2 of them because we found the 3 keys for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, you guys can decide. There are 2 of them. You guys can decide who has them. I don't care.
So what I have is Urzak's
You can have
investigation.
2 of them.
Urzak's investigation check of the battlefield helps us search for items. Short sword, short bows, keys for the bombs, boomerang, copper, gold, platinum. But as for
wants
Who
bombs?
wants the bombs?
If nobody takes it, I'm taking one.
Sounds like you're getting 2, buddy.
It's like I'm getting 2 fucking
And
bombs.
can I see can Zapdos lift a bomb?
That's a spell. It's a small item, so it weighs half of a pound. I would say yes.
Okay.
Gonna have.
We have a bomb drone.
Yeah, how about you take
Um,
one? Take one, Vern, Trent.
All right.
on that
I
same note, Barlos, there was a boomerang. I don't know if anybody ended up getting that or not.
I added it to your character sheet because you were the one that did pick that up. I
Okay.
remember you, Ozak, picking that up, so it's in your
Really?
character sheet.
There's also a flask of liquid.
Yes. Did you pick that one up?
Yeah. It's just on the pickup sheet, so maybe.
It's on the loot sheet for me, but I don't have it in my inventory. Flask of
Um,
liquid, really nice polished looking boomerang.
I
Vern
think that.
receives the whip sword.
Oh, and that, yeah, the whip sword. I have not made an item for the whip sword because none of you can really use it right now, unless one of you casts enlarge on yourself. Then I guess you could use it. But
How much strength does Teth have?
He's got 18.
18,
on
yeah.
liquid.
Urzak's got 20 and Teth has 18. If we both put two hands on it, we swing it together.
That's our battering ram, my dude.
Urzak has 19 now. Or it's not Urzak, sorry, Breckle.
Oh yeah, he has the sort
Gloves.
of belt or the gloves. The fuck you, Teth. I'm gonna wield this giant sword with Brackle.
Yeah.
One last thing. So I'll distribute those items.
Bim bim peep up.
One last thing that I totally forgot about last session, before I told you guys to long rest overnight. The creature that was charmed by Vern, that was helping to hold the wall up, that charm would have run out.
Yeah.
It would be noted that whoever was watching the wall would have seen this creature snap out of it and just run off into the desert without his helmet because you took his helmet from him.
I thought we sent him to prison, but I could be
We told
misremembering.
Orion to to deal with him. I
To
don't know
watch
how
him.
fit.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but when I asked for the definitive action, Vern told him to go hold the wall up. So he
That
was
is
still
correct.
outside the wall.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
So a few things were discussed, but he was still outside the wall holding it up. So he has run off out into the desert. So he's a rogue operator at this point.
Listen, man,
Uh,
we're not captain of the guard. That's not our fucking problem. That's not
That's
our
true.
botch.
What? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's 100%
We all
going to be our fucking problem in 3 days when we're in the wilds, and he
Yeah.
points us out. He's like,
the
"Hey, these guys
radiation
fucked up
just
Jim."
changed him into this giant monstrosity.
What do you mean he's gonna point us out? He's gonna point us out to people and be like, "Hey, these guys charmed me for a large part of the day and killed all of my friends." Good,
Please-
good. I'm glad he got away. Fucking
Please keep
messenger.
me safe.
It's a warning.
All right. Also, they started repairs on the walls. So they would note to the guard and to the leadership of Kazul, Eric, that you helped stabilize the wall with your plants, and they were able to begin reconstruction.
Job, Eric.
Great. So you helped them out, Eric. Okay. No prologue today. In place, I have a character question for you going forward. One, I'm going to ask it first, and then we can decide if we want to type answers or just go around the table and speak answers. I'm fine with either. This isn't like a like character building thing. Just interested to see what you say. So here's the question: you are at death's door. It's not saying that you're going to die right now, but whenever that happens, you're at death's door. Your character, not you. This is not a question of whether you will die, but what you will choose to do as your last act. Before you expire, you can choose to do one of the three options below. You can cause immense good to happen to a friend. You can cause immense loss to your greatest enemy, or you can abstain and do nothing. Which would you choose and why? Would you like to type the answers out or talk through them verbally? Up to you
Like
guys.
verbally. I mean, because I when we type
I'm
out
okay.
answers, I like that idea, but then I'll be honest, I think I tend to forget about it and I don't think about it much anymore after I write it. So
Okay.
I would like to hear what people say.
You can take some thought. Whoever wants to go first, or whenever you get an answer, just call it out, and you can go ahead.
Was
I
this
think
as the
Herzog's
characters? Go ahead.
You're saying, I would say, I think Urzax is pretty straightforward and logical. He has to pass the blade down at some point, right? And assuming he hasn't done so, already, I feel like his final act would be to do that, and that's an immense good for somebody else.
That's true.
And if he had already passed it on, I feel like he would still choose to do immense good for whoever he had passed it on to.
Solid answer.
Pretty straightforward, but that's absolutely what he would do.
Hell yeah.
Is this as the characters are currently, like this session, essentially?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, not assuming that you're in this state of mind whenever you pass, unless you want to think about it like future Teth, but that's open to your own interpretation.
Man, probably cause immense loss to your greatest enemy. I'm thinking.
Interesting.
Teth has a lot of pain that he's holding on to right now, and he honestly he feels like he's a ticking time bomb. And I don't think he thinks that he's necessarily going to see his intentions through before it's all said and done. So I think that he's kind of, when you're in pain, you lash out, right? Kind of the idea. He basically also had a giant hunk of organic matter ripped out of him, which was essentially essentially a ground for him, right? Whether he understood it or not, which he didn't really. He kind of did, but didn't. It still grounded him, and that's gone, and it's kind of slowly just like, okay, well, what do I replace that with? And he hasn't figured that out yet. So right now he is sad and hurts and is trying to keep it together mentally, and yeah, I would say greatest. The option would be immense loss.
That's a good answer.
Thanks. Fucking gnats everywhere.
Good luck. What is the prompt that we were discussing?
I just put it into
General.
general.
Ah,
You're at death's door. It's not a question of whether you will die, but what you choose to do before you die as your last act. You can create immense good for a friend, immense loss for your greatest enemy, or abstain and do nothing.
I mean, I think Vern would obviously want to create good for a friend. I don't know if he knows who that friend is yet, because he would want it to be, if he's dying prematurely and he hasn't done all the good for the world that he wants to with his, like, I mean, his business plans will ideally make him money, but it's like that's not the goal, right? He's trying to, create the railway to, like, help the less fortunate who aren't blessed with magic and aren't super wealthy with a silver spoon in their mouth. Um, so I think he would maybe try to, at this point, if he was at death's door, he would feel as though he has failed to share his wealth and blessings with the world. And I think if he could, his choice would be to sort of take that immense good and like shatter it and sprinkle little bits of good on as many impoverished,
Mhm.
struggling people as possible, which might come down to like a single little degree of luck that maybe like they have a slightly better day if it's divided up that many ways. But I feel like that would be what he would do in this moment because he doesn't have like a protege necessarily or someone who he thinks he can pass down any torch to, but it'd be just the broad populace.
Hell yeah. Nice answer.
Thank you.
I think Brackle would also want to do immense good for his people. I don't know if there's a specific person, but kind of like Trent said about Fern, he'd want to raise up as much as he could and help them. Maybe try and shatter the image that everybody has of Yanti so they can kind of come out of hiding and reassess and come back into the world and or reassimilate to society. So I think that would be it. And if it was uh, greatest enemy, it'd probably do something to still help his people, but cause whoever's blocking them a ton of pain and trouble.
Nice. Good answer. All right, Eric.
So let's say this happens tomorrow. I think he lashes out at Death's door. He's still angry that like he feels like his father died early and didn't get to carry out all the good things planned for Ponteg. So he's a little bit like resentful and full of like a vengeance thought. So kind of depending on who the enemy is in that situation of being on death's door. But tomorrow, I think that would be his thing is lashing out and not caring if it's a good act. I think if later on, like, he sort of finds his character is um, kind of leaning one way or the other, like he's just been doing good and it's not helping, he also would lash out. If he's been doing good and it is helping, he would continue to do good. So it kind of depends on like where he is and sees his character at the time of this dying. So I could see that going multiple ways. But yeah.
Nice. Great answers, you guys. I like that a lot. Cool.
We can take it over, Eric. Together, we're gonna lash
Yeah.
out and hurt
Teth
those
and
who hurt
Eric.
us.
Feeling the pain.
Yeah, dude. Just fuck
All
this.
right.
It's
No.
fuck this.
I mean, also like also could very much see a world where it's like, especially if like if Visick is the person causing the death, or is like just being like, no, fuck you in general.
Hmm.
Yeah.
True.
But
Especially if you've already passed the blade on and like
Right.
cultivated somebody new.
yeah, I could see Eric like just not having any composure at death's door and like thinking about legacy in that moment. I could see him just forgetting all that. So that's why I say it the way I do. But obviously, I think I would like for him to try to create a sacrificial act for good, benevolent act. But it's hard to promise that. But yeah.
I got it.
Hey, but we got tattoos and elephants, so
That's true.
going in
Did
the
you
right
guys-
direction, guys.
Did you
One of
guys
these
buy
two
the
things will
elephants or
kill
rent
you.
them?
I think
2 of them we bought, and then
It was fiscally responsible to buy the elephants.
I mean, certainly more fiscally responsible than buying more bounders.
Yeah.
we totally don't have to pay like a king's ransom every day for food for these elephants.
More
Teth has
bounces.
a plan for that. Teth can.
I have a plan in case food gets weird.
Uh,
And it's not make him
Jumping back
carnivorous.
into the game. Two things now that we're back in real time. Teth, you had mentioned that you wanted to put a spell into your spell storing stone and
Yep.
give it to somebody. Would you like to do that now?
Yeah. Just to kind of because Teth would have asked the party basically and showed them the spell sharing stones, which I don't remember 100% where they came from. My guess is either from Gael or the not directly from Gael, but something that had to do with Gael or in the compound, or God, maybe the Puro Barracks. But besides the point, don't remember where it came from. But Teth would want to basically
They
put
were
something
in
in it.
Zethlo's box in his house.
Okay, that would make sense.
I think they were in
Because
Zethlo's
I
box.
was wondering, because I was like, why would I have this and nobody like?
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, man, why doesn't it have like Brackle or somebody have it? That would make sense. It was a Zethlo thing. It was around the time when I was entering stuff too, so that would make sense. So pretty much to expedite this, third level or lower, I want to put a spell in here that the party can use. The only thing is that it disappears after 24 hours. So something like Revivify, not such a great idea, or at least it's a very big gamble. But my idea was Aura of Vitality, at least to kind of push around some extra, oh fuck, stone healing. The only thing though is that that's concentration based. Now, normally it would be something that you would give to like a fighter or a barbarian if they could concentrate on it. Or somebody who doesn't normally have access to magic that's going to be using a concentration spell. That being said, I think that even if we can't use it in combat, it's still great to have out of combat, or if somebody doesn't typically have access to healing, it's good for them to have.
Mm-hmm.
So, that all being said, unless there's something else that's third level that somebody else really wants in a stone, because it's basically you have a stone, I have a stone, and one of those two people that have the stone can use that one spell.
I will say I have interesting options, but I didn't have any third level spell slots last night.
Yeah.
So maybe another day.
Yeah.
I think counterspell, haste, or slow would be beneficial. I think it. I mean, just like
Yeah.
you said, it would probably be what Crowbar using it, right?
Well,
It
so
doesn't really.
it's either that or it's something that we can use outside of combat, right?
Yeah.
So as I was thinking, like something like that's kind of why I landed on Aura Vitality, because it's like, okay, if you use it outside of combat, it's a total of 20d6 healing, some fucking
Yeah.
outrageous amount over a minute. So if we're on the move and we just have some time to pop healing for a minute or two and then keep having to move on, that's kind of thought there. But
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea
um,
because mine are out of the question for today, at least anyway. So
does Vern have a lot of concentration stuff? Trent? I know you have a lot of big blast spells, but I think like because
Yeah.
just thinking off the top of my head, it's like chain lightning isn't really chain lightning is just a blast and then that's it.
Is it third level for spell storing?
Yeah, this one it's for third level for spell share stones.
I've got
Somebody's
a
haven't used them really.
conjure animals concentration spell, right?
Is it?
that
Trying to
sounds
think.
right.
I think that sounds right.
I think so.
Yeah, that's another option. But I was just thinking, now I think about it, I don't think Vern really has a ton of, except for maybe some of your domination stuff or your charm stuff.
Right.
Trent.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that would be good to, because I mean, Teth can cast it whenever, right? Because I always prepare Aura of Vitality in this case. But at least you and I could cast it into the stones, and then you or somebody else can have it, or you and me, or you and Urzak, you and Eric, or Eric and whatever is the idea.
Okay.
Or it
I mean,
should hit the fan.
I have Aura Vitality prepared as well.
Okay, so you have it too.
That's why I kind of thought Conjure Animals would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Bless and Bane at 3rd level.
Not a bad idea either.
I was gonna say, yeah, it also applies to upcasting. So if there's a 1st or 2nd level spell that you want to
Sure.
upcast, you can do
Bless
that.
would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
again,
that's
you have
like
to have
3
concentration.
3 targets plus 2. So yeah.
25 would be a good boon.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess first of all, do we want to do something
You really do much better than Bless.
combat wise or something support wise?
I was thinking more support. Just because we all have so much for the most part going in in combat, because honestly everybody here's a partial caster at least, right? Except for
Yeah.
Crowbar,
Mhm.
who can't
Yeah.
cast spells because he rages, right?
Yeah, that's true. He can't
So
concentrate.
he can't concentrate. So at least while he's raging, he can't.
I mean,
Um,
you could put spells in that aren't concentration as well, right?
Correct. Yes. So anything can go in there that's 3rd level or
Oh,
lower.
okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking for a second like this
Only.
is negating the need to concentrate. Okay.
And
No. Yeah.
keep in mind that whenever the spell is cast, whoever ends up using it uses the caster's stats as well as concentration. So if Urzak,
Oh wow.
yeah,
It would
so if
concentrate.
Urzak casts the spell into a stone and somebody else goes into battle, Urzak gets hit and rolls for concentration, regardless of who ends up using that stone spell.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
wow.
Keep that in mind.
Wow.
Say that one more time.
So the
Caster
caster,
stats. Yeah.
yeah, whenever it's only one spell can be stored in the pair of stones at one time. If a spell, I'm reading the wrong part. Either owner can cast the spell using the statistics of the caster, and the stone is the casting focus. So if your spell requires concentration, whoever casts the spell into the stone is the one that has to maintain concentration once the spell pops. So if you cast a spell, Teth, and you already have a concentration spell up, if somebody else casts the stone spell, your concentration drops and goes onto the spell that's in the stone. And you have to make concentration on it.
So that changes things.
Yeah.
So you would either, if it was in combat, realistically, you would want something that's not concentration,
Yeah.
or you could use it as support, just whatever you want, and as support outside of combat. But it can only hold one spell, correct?
Correct. And it lasts only for 24 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
And one spell 3rd level or lower.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, something like, so I had the only thing that the only thing kind of supporty that I had outside of Aura was Dispel Magic, is like one of the only other things I think, which isn't a bad option, but Protection from Energy I always have prepared. That's concentration.
I think for today's Dispel Magic sounds great.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Unless you
Dispel
think we're going to
Magic.
need the extra healing, or if there's something we can use to help us travel through the desert.
Elephants to travel through the desert.
Technically, there is something to help travel through the desert, but I wouldn't have prepared it until today, so it doesn't matter.
What's
but
your
yeah, okay.
what's your
Dispel
spell
Magic.
casting? Is it as a paladin charisma?
Yeah.
Is it like what's your modifier on that?
18. Do about +5.
Do you want to use my dispel magic? Because I have wisdom 20.
Do you have an item that gives you a DC buff?
Oh, gotcha. No.
I was gonna say I don't know. You have to have something, right? Because DCs are 8 plus proficiency plus mod.
I mean, either way, it would still be his game statistics. So if you
Okay, so
cast,
even if he had,
yeah,
okay, that makes
it's
sense.
it's as if that character is casting the spell.
The other
both
thing too,
18s.
is it doesn't matter because it's dispel magic.
Right.
Because we'd have to roll for it.
Rolling
Yeah.
for it, yeah.
And it's just it's just a +5.
Does Billy roll an average of 2.1 more than I do? Yeah.
I roll pretty good. Have absolutely no control over it. That being said, now I'm gonna do a Vern Wellerby.
This is going to be your worst session yet.
Yeah, I roll great. Fucking
You
roll
thought,
negative one insanity check.
yeah.
Okay. Well, just to move past it, dispel magic, spell share stones, and see
You
that
wanna
is
give it-
cleric. I was gonna say that's it's abjuration. Do you have
Cleric?
access to that, Billy?
That's
Access to what?
Dispel magic.
I don't. I don't know it. I could feasibly learn it, I believe, but I do not know it.
Okay. I'm thinking whoever doesn't have it, because me and Eric have dispel magic. So I figured give the stone to Urzok and maybe Vern, or I'm not sure what Brackle. Nobody knows what Brackle has prepared. He has every spell known to man.
That's the way he likes it.
He's been spending extra time, extracurriculars with Sekala. He knows what he knows. Oh, I have the wish spell now, guys.
What it means
Free
to be a
wishes.
warlock.
Yeah. So I guess for now we'll just say this is Urzok, and I'll let Trent know that he has a stone.
Oh, there's two of these.
Yeah,
So
there's a
Brad would have, if Brad casts it, if Eric casts it, he would have one stone. And then you give the other stone to somebody else.
Oh, you have to have. So the person who cast it can't get rid of the stone.
Correct. You cast it into the stone, and either you can use it later or somebody else that has the other stone.
Okay.
I can still hold on to the dispel magic stone,
Oh, I see.
the one that we have.
That's why it's a spell sharing stone.
Yeah.
Yep.
You share it with one other person who has the other stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I
get
like
it.
sending stones for spells.
I understand.
Speaking of items, Vern, I added your tattoo to your character sheet, and Vern and Teth, I added the grenades.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eric, I prioritized other things over your camouflage because I don't know that you're going to be completely immersed in water anytime soon.
In the desert.
In the desert.
Which
Come on,
has-
it
which
works
has
in
a
the
giant
sky
bay.
too.
I'm like, yeah, I could have stayed in Kazul and just swam in the man-made port, I guess.
You don't see my hands.
If Trent's muted and gone. Okay, I'll take the stone. I'll take the dispel magic stone.
All right.
In the effort of spending less than half an hour talking about this,
Yeah.
give me the stone.
The night before, I cast the spell magic into it, or Brad does it, and then we're good.
Yeah, Eric does it. Okay.
Cool.
So using my
you,
spellcasting ability, yeah.
you have detect magic available to you, Urzok, for the next 12 hours. Right? Yeah. 12 hours.
Beautiful.
Custom add
That's
a
not right.
spell.
8 hours for a long rest. 16 hours. Jesus. 16 hours to use
More
it.
beautiful.
Dispel magic too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
not detect. Okay. I thought it was- All right.
I will be right back, guys.
Whatever.
Okay. See you, Don.
So we can talk about this for another 20 minutes.
No, one other thing that I want to do as we're still in Kazul getting ready to leave, Brackle Bath, everybody else had plenty of time to look around the city and do some shopping. They went to a variety of different places, from getting manacles ruined to getting tattoos.
Big manacles ruined.
Yeah, Urzak got his handcuffs ruined by a, O Street vendor. Uh, would you like? Is there anything specific, uh, quickly that you would want to look into in the city? Um, and I can tell you if there's something readily available for you. You'd have about 6 hours to do something. That's about the collective time that the party took
Okay.
the previous day, to do their tattoos and weapons and things.
Mm, uh, doo, doo, doo.
From what I remember,
Mhm.
there was pretty much a shop, pretty much for everything that you
Okay.
could probably imagine. There was like
Mm.
a prosthetics place, like a scroll and potion place, armor, blacksmith, magic items.
Uh,
There was a
a
whole slew of stuff.
Yeah, I don't really have a ton of cash. I spent it last time we went shopping. No, I mean, I guess if there's a religious district, I mean, I know we don't have a ton of time, but would do some research into. Dang it! Like, sorry, my cat is. Get in a basket.
Get out of here! Go on now, get it.
I guess I would do some research into how to start a religion. Not a religion, like research how
101.
some other deities started to gain followers and like what their
Cults for dummies.
Yeah, interesting.
exactly.
So there are a couple options. There is a monastery that you you went to as a different character in a different game. It is the same monastery, dedicated to Ilmater, I believe. I'm not 100% sure I
Mhm.
remember that correctly. I will look that up. But regardless, they are, uh, uh, quite a knowledgeable group of monks, and priests and the like that value facts and research and things like that, over blind faith. So that would be a good place for you to go. There is also a very large cemetery, which is all hallowed ground. It is operated by, um, a church of Selune.
Okay.
It
Um,
was it was hallowed and established 4.5 years ago, by an unknown traveler passing through Kazul,
Take
and
that.
it has only grown from there. I would say those are your two big options.
I'd probably talk to the monks and see kind of how they're maybe if they've done missions or done missionary trips, things like that. How they went
Yeah,
about it, maybe.
sure. I'm just gonna I'm gonna have you roll a series of checks to see what you find out and how you go about
Okay.
it. As you enter the monastery, first of all, it's a beautiful building. It is rather large. It's quite humble on the outside, but it's very well built, mostly stone, very similar to the walls of the city, but adorned with kind of wooden patches here and there with carvings of different deities. So even though they worship, I'm like 80% sure it's Ilmater, but I can't remember. Whatever their deity is, it makes up most of them, but there are carvings of several other deities present. Walking in, it's about the same. There are wooden columns with ornate carvings in them, and you don't see anybody right away as you walk in, but there are several bookshelves with reading available. So you can choose to kind of stay in this lobby area and peruse their book collection, or you can keep going into the monastery and try and find someone to talk to. So you can roll investigation, or you could roll persuasion to try and get somebody to notice you.
Um, what would
Don't use your superpowers, Brackle.
I know? I'd probably do the investigation just to see what kind of books they had immediately.
Roll investigation for me, please.
13.
With a 13, these actually are mostly texts that you would glean would be used to lead worship. So it's not a lot of knowledge on deities specifically. It's mostly either guidebooks or religious texts for monks or priests to conduct services. So a lot of it is either straight up scripture or how-to books for priests that are starting out. Not necessarily how to start your own religion, but how to kind of cultivate your followers and things like that, invigorate them. There is, with the 13, one specific text, however, that's just kind of an overview of like schools of worship, and it talks about the history of the Presidium specifically, the 6 Presidium gods, and how they came to be. And it will go on to talk about in the beginning of the Azurian pantheon, as uh, as they were creating this thing from scratch, essentially, right after the wellspring, a lot of the creatures in Azura didn't believe that gods existed. They thought that everything around them was very confusing, and you can just push it open.
Is that better?
Knock
Yeah.
down the door.
Oh, there we go.
Barricade.
Hold on, bitch. Hi guys. Immediately playing with your wiener, I see.
Yeah, we can't pick it.
We have a delivery for icy wiener.
Hey, are you going to bed?
He made some chili today,
See more butts.
and was kind of in a hurry and ended up adding way too much broth.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Like, it tastes fine, but I have
Like
to
a thin chili or a.
yeah, I have to like scrape everything good off the bottom.
Ah,
I was like, I guess I'll have like chili base if I would make chili again at some point.
Right. Chili soup. You have meat soup.
That'd be really nice if we get like some ground chuck or something.
Go and rub lotion on your feet and your.
Brad Hurst's mom made really good pizza soup.
I don't know if I've ever had a pizza soup.
Very good.
hmm.
Is it like chili, but like they just use like a marinara kind of base?
No, it was actually like a thinner soup. But there's like pepperoni in it, and like you'd put mozzarella cheese on the top that you'd heat on.
Oh,
Mm.
nice.
But yeah, the broth was like very
I would take this
Italian spices and everything.
Are you gonna carry this one to your group?
I'm pretty sure it was
Also,
like a vegetable stock.
Okay. So I also had a very hard time like seasoning the soup because when it finished,
Mhm.
I had just brushed my teeth.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
that'd be hard.
so I kind of guess a little bit here and then come back in an hour when it's done stewing. I also didn't have any cumin. It's usually something I put in my chili.
I gotcha. Did you get new spices?
So my grandpa had a like imagine like that's probably like the size of like a shelf where you keep your plates and stuff, like the whole
Mhm.
bottom section, just like filled with spices. And I went through, um, and everything but like 3 or 4 were expired.
Mm.
So, like I pitched, we've kind of been slowly getting a lot of stuff back.
Good.
I was gonna say if you were still stewing that chili, Billy, you might have been able to add crushed tomatoes or like tomato paste is pretty common too to like make it thicker.
Yeah, I ended up getting. He only got a pound of meat, so I only got a small one of the like I guess medium sized cans of crushed tomatoes. I probably should have got the
Yeah.
big one.
Sorry about that. My sister-in-law is putting Archer down tonight, and he's having some issues with it.
Wow.
Dude, every time you say that Rhiannon has a sister, it's crazy to me that I did not know that.
Wait, older or
She-
younger?
She's
yeah,
younger,
much
right?
younger.
Mm.
Yeah, they're all pretty spaced apart. Like her younger brother Sky is 5 years younger, and then her sister is like 4 years younger than Scott. So
Okay.
Not that I
they're all
was like
pretty spaced out.
close with Rhiannon or anything like that, but I don't know. She's in our age group.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Continuing on that note, Brackle, you discover that when things were starting out for the Presidium, even though they were super powerful deities at that point, people just didn't believe anything that they were doing. They didn't believe that they existed. They didn't believe that anything that was happening in the world was caused by anything other than, uh, you know, natural occurrences. And they found that once people began to, there were certain prophets and different priests or clerics that would have you know sightings of the deities, or they would have direct contact, and the more people they convinced, um, the stronger the reach of those deities would become.
Okay.
Can I ask a question as a player?
Yes.
The Presidium gods created Azura, right?
Yes, specifically Melora.
So this would have like I assume humanity came sometime after that.
Hmm.
So basically, humans just existed and were not privy to the existence of their creator. That's what it was. Okay,
Yeah, they were.
they weren't worshiping
It
other. Or I guess that's my question is like, were they worshiping other gods or other things before they realized that the Presidium were the
it
creators?
it was less that and more the idea of worship was just so foreign to them that they didn't know that was something they could do. You know, it's not
Okay.
something that was part of their paradigm until people, self-proclaimed prophets and professors of the faith started coming forward and telling people that it was an option, and then people started believing more and more.
Okay, makes sense.
That was an interesting path, Breckle. That was a good character moment for you.
Hey, thanks.
Going to the monastery and not conning somebody into doing what you want them to do.
Hey, he's evolving.
This is,
Yeah.
Use
This is
dominate
Brack.
person on the priest and have him change faith.
Oh, easily.
You heard of Sekala? He's pretty great.
My modifier is higher than what I rolled for investigation.
Yeah. I'm sure at some point you could start your own faith if you'd like, Brackle.
That's called
Should really
Brackle's
follow in the
hero
true.
arc.
He's just
Yes.
he's just put procrastinating. If he can get on that worldwide projection monitor thing, it's over.
Brackle creates the first mega church in Azura, all commercialized.
Becomes a oh god, it
There's a
becomes
message on this machine you need to look at.
It's like Joel Osteen or Joel Olstein.
Oh.
Joel Steen.
Oh, Josh Groban.
What?
Josh Groban.
Yeah.
He created a. He
If
started a mega church.
No, I'm just
Hmm.
joking.
Joel Osteen does kind of look like Josh Groban, to be fair. They're similar builds. They're both white guys with curly hair. So, yeah.
Yep. That's true.
All right. It is the morning time. You've picked up your mouse. You've met with Hargrave, or just inside of the military district in Kazul.
Hargrave's the elephant person.
Hargrave is the general of the desert region. So she is technically a caster, but is firmly anti-caster. She heads deeper into the city to retrieve the 2 prisoners that you will be traveling with. And you receive your 3rd elephant from Orion.
I suppose
named
she's an
Bagels.
elephant person because she brought an elephant.
Well, Orion got you the elephant. She didn't bring the elephant. They all kind of moved into the scene together, but it was her. It was not her doing that the elephant was there. Teth, you have your own mount.
Yeah.
But everybody else should be able to fit onto an elephant somewhere. I think we decided on an average 3 of you can get onto an elephant without it being a problem. You and all of your gear and everything. You'll have 2 prisoners, and Hargrave has her own mount, so she will be riding her horse.
Wasn't it like 1,000 pounds or something that elephants can carry or something ridiculous?
I think it was
1,300, 1,200.
That's it.
Yeah.
Herzog is about 500 pounds with equipment. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me look it up. An elephant can carry 1,300 pounds.
That's still pretty good. Ugh. And we have 3, right?
Yeah.
I like to think like Brackle and Vern get their own elephant, and then everybody else is on the other one.
Bagels is mine.
Give it. I want bagels.
yeah. What were the names? Bagel and who else?
So there are 3 elephants. One of them is called Bagels. One of
Mhm.
them is we had it written down.
Simon.
Simon and
One is
Garfunkel.
Zondel, and then the third one is Simon and Garfunkel.
What's the
I was
second one?
Zondel.
Zondel.
Yeah.
And then it's Simon and Garfunkel for one
Yes.
elephant.
Yep.
Zondel with an apostrophe. Yeah.
How rude would it have been if we named one of them Pasparan?
That's what I was. That's why I was wondering if it was Hargraves was the elephant one.
Hargrave is not the elephant.
This is a flex.
Aloxodon riding a war elephant as a mount.
Can I be on Bagels with Peep Up and someone who's a lot stronger than me physically?
I can join you guys.
Yeah, so that is a good question. How would you guys like to keep the prisoners. Would you like to keep them together, or would you like to keep them separately?
Definitely separate, right?
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that being
Fucking
said, somebody
throw one in the
We could
we'll
we could
throw
try to
one.
do the old what's like that old prisoners, it's not a paradox, but what is it called? Where it's like you're like, hey, so and so totally gave you away and confessed. And then the other person you're like, so and so totally gave you away and confessed.
Just like playing
Yeah.
each other.
100% throw me the fucking small one, and I will just hover fucking 100 feet in the air with my mount. And if he tries to escape, he'll fucking just
So
fall.
Peep-Up is a small creature, so you could take in your mount if you wanted.
I have Gaius. I could cast on both of them.
Yeah, we could just do that too.
That's what?
As we
Just
as we
just kill anything Barlos was having. Just cast Gaius on them. Just you can't. Don't try and escape from us for the next 30 days.
Yeah.
I was thinking as we
That's-
start moving with them, can I ritually cast detect magic and see what I see around them? Hargrave, the guards,
Yeah.
Brackle.
Yeah.
Counter spell.
You've been doing.
Yeah, we'll
No,
say that Hargrave comes back. She'll arrive back from the Kazul prison complex. She will have the 5 guards that she had with her before, and they are walking alongside these 2 new prisoners. Peep Up is incredibly small. He is not talking, as Orion told you he would not be. They are wearing the same type of shackles that you saw on the prisoners previously. It's like a solid plate of steel around both hands, so they cannot move them closer or further apart. Very secure. As far as everybody else, I think they're already there with you. So when you cast detect magic, your ritual kind of comes into fruition as they're coming back. You can see that the shackles are glowing with abjuration magic, so they are magical. The prisoners themselves don't have anything magical on them. Hargrave, she has her bow is magical. She has 2 swords at her side. Both of them are magical. You can see that there's like a scarf that she's currently using to cover her face. It's kind of like a scarf cape type of thing that is glowing as well. All warding magic, all abjuration or conjuration. So she is heavily warded. Obviously, all of you guys light up like Christmas trees. You have a bunch of magical stuff on you. Not just Brackle, but everybody in the party is like glowing all sorts of colors. And notably, Orion does not have anything magical on him right now. He is wearing studded leather armor, finely crafted, but it is not magical, and he is not carrying any weapons on him. The elephants are not carrying anything magical yet until you guys get up on top of them. Trying to think.
Oh, dude. Fucking
I think that's
put
probably it for now.
we need to put these
Guard.
elephants.
Anything with
What'd
the
you guys
guard?
say? You were talking at the same time.
The guards. Any magic? Like the 5. Yeah.
You would see that the guards have magical shackles, like at their hips.
Okay.
They're carrying the
More
magical shackles.
abjuration. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Nothing
Did
too out of the ordinary.
Did we decide on elephant mount stacks while I was gone?
I believe we
Sounds like
decided that
one.
prisoners were going to be separate, and maybe Peepop would go with Teth on Ion.
Yeah.
But
strap this motherfucker to Ion.
so Peepop will go with Teth. Vern, Vern, you want to be with somebody that's stronger than you? I assume not the Goliath, right?
Well, that,
He's
that
stronger
was
than
gonna be
you.
if I was paired up with if I was paired up with Peep Up to like dig into his mind. I wanted to make sure there was somebody
Oh,
with me that was.
Oh,
you can do that. I actually, I'll take. Let me put it this way. I'll take the little guy if you guys don't want to harass him on the elephants. Put it that way.
yeah. What do you guys want to do more? Because I'm here for either scenario. I feel like either of them would be funny. Vern, do you want to do
Well,
that?
What
I'm
if
I'm just
on-
curious. I mean, yeah, it's
Orion
gonna
and
be
Vern?
bothering Vern. If,
So you want to do Peepop, Vern, and Urzok on one
Yes.
elephant? Okay. We will do that.
Sure. It's Ion is the name of your mount.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a big.
Huh.
Who's going?
it's a-
Who's going on Zondel?
You
Crowbar
guys are
and
on
Eric.
Bengals?
Crowbar and Eric on Zondel.
You guys want to take the Goliath with you as well? I feel like Crowbar. Well,
I
you
feel
have
like
to. You have to have Elias as well.
Yeah.
You guys might not have needed three. Okay, so here's what we have. If you go with Crowbar, Eric, there's nobody left other than the prisoner on the on the other elephant.
Isn't well, we have Brackle.
Is there
Oh
what?
yeah, Brackle. So why don't we do? Do you want to do Eric and Brackle with
Yeah.
Gvorish on Zondel?
Mustache Brothers.
Mustache.
Yeah.
Brother.
That makes
So
sense because you have.
Crowbar and Elias get their own elephant.
Yeah.
Crowbar and Elias will be on be on Simon and Garfunkel.
Hargrave's on their own mount.
Yep. Yep. I will group these together.
I'm typing
And-
up already, Barless. I don't know if you want to figure out records, but
Bagels! Oh, look
Oh.
at him.
I fucked it up.
I love that it's like a circus elephant too. It's fantastic.
Bagels.
Yeah, that's for when after we save the world, we're gonna start a circus. It was decided, Brackle.
Oh, yes.
All
I'll
right.
be the ringleader.
So we are. You should actually be over here. We're moving. Kazul would be up here in this corner, assuming you've just exited the gate and gone out into the desert, kind of southeast. Do you have a marching order that you would prefer as you head out into these plains?
Can we pause for a second? Maybe you already talked about this, but
About the
Is
fucking
Hargrave-
nightmare.
yeah, is she riding a fucking centaur demon?
She's right. So she has her own horse named Apollo.
You have to move her so we can see the rest of this horse.
It's like a nightmare.
Okay. She was
It's
like
an-
covering a part that I thought the head
Oh.
was like an arm, and the mane was like the hair from the back.
What the fuck? Okay.
That's super
Yeah,
cool.
it looks like a nightmare.
And it looked like she was covering the other half of a centaur,
Wow.
and she was
Yeah.
riding a centaur around.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, is that humane? That's
hilarious.
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's actually her life partner. He's her master of the desert.
They're consenting adults.
Every long journey is a sexual experience.
Pony play, dude. Pony play.
Yeah. Sounds like something Lucius would be into.
Marching order.
That dude.
I
That
think
monk.
probably Teth should be in the front, right? And then the three
believes in
elephants, and then
sexual
Hargrave
enlightenment.
picking up the rear.
Do you want to do like a formation?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, like too
I'll-
wide.
Yeah, one like
good
that.
being wherever because I can technically fly if I need to. So
There you go.
Something
Flying
like
V,
that?
sort of.
Great.
I guess which way is forward? Are we moving east to west or west to east?
We are moving down this way and then eventually straight south.
So north to south.
Yep. Let's go
Um,
back.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's up to Hargrave where she wants to be.
She will mirror Teth. So wherever Teth is, she will make up the opposite end. So she's okay with leading or following. So you are headed almost exactly straight down if you want to go directly to the prison. If you want to stop in Cyprus, so let me put it in terms of travel time. If you go straight and you go directly to the prison to drop off the prisoners, that's about 2 days travel, which is what we discussed the other day. If you'd like to stop in Cyprus first, it's like a day and a half, and then another day and a half to the prison. So you're adding a day total, but it's less travel time to your destination first, right? You can always go to the prison and then go back to Cyprus if you'd like. You could go to the prison and then head down into the heart of the wilds and then hit Cyprus on your way back. Or you could just go down into the wilds and hit the prison on your way back, which is up to you.
There is so there's
No way.
there are 10 people waiting for us to help us at the
Prison.
prison, right? And our plan with them is, if they're willing, to have them go scout and find reconnaissance for us, right?
Yep.
That was proposed.
So the question becomes, what are we doing while they're doing that?
Yeah, I
Going
like
to
the
So-
idea
Cyprus.
of us going straight to the prison, dropping off the prisoners, have those 10 guys go and scout while we go to Cyprus, and then we come back and maybe they're returned. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I was gonna say that we can just, depending on how far it is, we could just say, "Hey, meet us back at Cyprus in a
Yeah.
day,"
Oh, or that, yeah, that's good too.
as long as they're
How long does Windwalk last?
for forever.
Oh, I did forget about that. That's what we're
No,
doing.
it lasts 8 hours, but
8 hours. Okay.
yep. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's 8 hours. Let me double check.
So you could definitely have them do that, and they would cover a lot of ground. But they
Yeah.
would be left stranded in the wilds once it's.
Well, I mean, you tell
Uh,
them don't fuck off
scoot
for
around.
more than 4 hours and then come back. You know what I mean?
I mean, also, like,
I guess if you warn them and they can make some, we'll
I-
make some
I-
intel for them to see
I-
how well they follow instructions.
Yeah, if they don't follow the instructions that Teth will very specifically give them, then they deserve to get stranded in the wilds and die. So, how about that?
I mean, how would they be any less stranded if we didn't give them Windwalk?
I mean, it's probably more of a, they would be fine. It would just take them a lot longer to report back, or they would just get murdered by whatever's in the wilds. Right?
That's I'm concerned about. In the very center of the wilds where the power is
Yeah.
at its highest.
Yeah, they get murdered.
Especially if they're like alone, right? Because the idea is to have them spread out to a bunch of different places, right?
Kind of. So
I think
there's
it's more
actually
pairs, I feel like.
yeah, they would be in either 2 fire teams, or like squads of 2, like duos essentially. So it'd be 5 sets of 2, or probably, depending if, like, let's say there was 2 people who were very specifically like, I know this forest, and they would have one person leading each team of 4 people behind them. So yeah,
Gotcha.
it depends. Yeah, it depends on how impressive or unimpressive these guys probably are or are not.
Yeah, I like the idea of going to the prison first and then circling back to Cyprus.
Cool. You have 2 days of travel ahead of you. You have enough feed for your elephants to make it to the prison, so you're all set for that.
You have 10
Teth
days of
has-
feed.
Right. Yeah. You have plenty of feed for all of that. It's not going to be an issue.
They're gonna die before they eat all their feed.
Good thing you bought them, right? And you didn't rent them. All right, so you embark out south. The first couple hours seem pretty easy. You're just heading straight. The weather is not bad. It is warm, um, but it's not especially windy, so the sand isn't whipping up in your faces or anything like that. As far as the desert goes, Urzak, you would know this is exceptionally mild.
Eric casts Druidcraft to where we're heading and gets an idea.
Okay. I don't have Druidcraft up. What?
Yeah, let me.
I know it has like
It,
7 different things that you can do.
Okay.
Of those types of spells, Druidcraft is the one I know the least.
So 24 hours in my location. The next weather patterns here. So it
Oh,
manifests in my
okay.
like an orb.
So I'll even you guys are level what? 15, 16, 15?
uh,
Ugh.
16 now.
Oh, we're 16.
Who the fuck said we were 16?
14, level 14.
Aren't you? Oh, I was going in the wrong
17.
direction.
I
15 or
thought we were
something.
14. I was like,
14.
shit.
I'll
My
take
bad.
2 more levels.
Yeah, you're level 14. This is a super basic druid spell. Would you like to know the weather at this specific location, or would you like to predict the weather of where you're going? Because I'll have you roll a nature check.
Yeah, I think it would be better to know ahead. Obviously, the
Okay.
spell doesn't look like it does that exactly. You know, we're
It doesn't, but I'll allow you that because you're moving, so it doesn't make any sense for you to have to do that.
yeah. Okay.
Roll nature.
Gonna
It's
roll
going to be
nature.
a
Okay.
DC 13.
It really makes me think that spell is
Do I get advantage for just it being based on nature and
Not on this
my
one.
herbalism?
Yeah, not for this one from your herbalism kit.
Well, I didn't roll too well. Okay.
You could tell that based on weather patterns in this section, the southern desert is likely to stay the same over the next day. Um, you have no idea what you're heading into, though.
All right.
Unfortunately.
Um,
I would like all of you, please.
the desert is the desert.
The desert is the desert, baby. I would
But
like all of you to
the wild
roll a
is the wild.
D20, please. The
Say that
wild
again.
is the-
Well,
D20.
A D20 from everyone, please.
Just rolling.
Yeah, boy.
hey, yeah, let's go. Where's those 5s at?
Yeah, boy. There you go.
Oh, hey, there we go.
There we go. Trash.
Nice.
Flav.
Brad and Trent re-roll for me, please.
Flav.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I like to see.
Wait, do we have to re-roll now? The threes?
Okay,
Really?
we're gonna have Trent, the crowned roller of the whole table. Give me a D100, please, Trent.
All right. Let's hope this one's big at least.
Let's
We rolled
go.
a 69.
oh shit.
Oh, no, a 96.
The reversal. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Which is ironic.
Yeah, 96 where your backs are to get, against each other.
All right, before we get to the result, 96. You have had 2.5 hours of travel under your belt. Is there anything that you guys would like to try and glean about the desert? Any conversations you'd like to have? Anything that you'd like to do to pass the time over 2.5 hours?
Yes. I want to talk to Peepa.
Okay.
I want to know.
Looking at him, he is incredibly small, very, very thin. He doesn't look unhealthy. It just looks like his body is built that way. He's just a little tiny guy. He is older. You can tell that there are lots of wrinkles on his face and neck. He seems to be chilling. He doesn't look like he's under any duress. He seems like he thinks he's exactly where he should be.
Nice, nice weather we're having, right, Peepa?
And just smile and just,
Did you have nice weather like this from back home? At least he's a lot more anime than I thought he'd be. I like that he doesn't talk, but he's just like, okay. So what's your story, Peepa? Do you choose not to talk, or are you unable to talk? It's okay. I have a little mechanical bird that also can't speak common, so I understand if you're
I'd back to
struggling.
Vern and say, you don't suppose you.
that Urzak is in the same outfit.
Yeah. He's like, I don't suppose you, I don't know, speak Goblin, Vern.
Oh, I forgot that I picked that random language. Oh yes,
Great.
yes. Oh well, good point, Urzak. Not since my schooling days. I wanted to be, a little different, and we had lots of options at the boarding school I attended. So yes,
Do you actually speak Goblin?
I do. I thought that's why you made a point.
No, I
don't
was just
know.
asking
No, I don't
Shot
know
in the
why
dark.
I picked Goblin, but I picked Goblin
for
when I
this
made this
moment.
character.
Love it.
That's funny.
So yeah, it's a little rusty at first, but in Goblin, Vern asks, "Is this more comfortable for you?" Whispered into his ear. I imagine I'm sitting behind him, like, "Is this better?"
He
Hey,
will turn to you, uh, still with a a kind of a half smile, a smirk on his face, but clearly a little bit surprised that somebody is attempting to speak to him in his native tongue, and he'll just say,
Um, do you have a do you have a favorite word, Peep Up? For me, I've always liked the word effervescent. What's your favorite word in Goblin? Just want to internalize it and think of the word. Well, that's okay. You can just think really carefully about your favorite word in Goblin, and I did cast Detect Thoughts. And I'll use a sorcerer point to not do whatever. Does it have a somatic or something? Can I?
Oh, subtle spell.
Yeah, subtle spell. Because I picked that too, and I've never used it.
people are sleeping on subtle spell. Like, obviously, it doesn't have.
Dude, it's great.
it
But
was great for Tarlock.
I like subtle spell a lot. It does have verbal and somatic. Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do subtle spell, so he doesn't. I know his back's facing me, but I imagine we're all pretty close on this elephant. So I
Yeah.
will.
So there's the seating cage on top. So you're kind of like seated. We'll do like two in the front and one in the back. So maybe Urzak is in the back watching both of you, and you guys are seated
Okay.
next to each other.
Cool. Yeah, I'll use 2 sorcery points to cast subtly detect thoughts.
All right. I'm gonna get this description back up so I can
Hang on, I'll
know
add
what
it.
I'm up against this time. All right. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Whiz.
Oh, you initially learn the surface thoughts. Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
What's his favorite
he
goblin word?
is his favorite goblin word is corn.
Got a corn guy over here.
He loves corn, and any shape. He loves it shucked, on the cob, creamed,
Mhm.
Corn.
any type of corn. It's delicious. Surface thoughts, just in the moment. He is incredibly at peace. You can tell that wherever he goes, he's just kind of going with the flow. Um, whether or not that is intentional or because he's just an idiot, you don't know. But he
Okay.
seems to just be living free and easy, dude.
Okay.
Less free right now because he's been in prison for a long time. But definitely easy.
Definitely that part. Okay,
Yeah.
I will push on a little deeper then. And is he aware
Okay.
that I'm doing this? Does he feel me digging in his thoughts?
I think the surface level thoughts, no.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't
no.
think they realize until you probe deeper.
Okay,
And
then
then
before
and then I don't think they realize unless they save.
Okay. Then before can I make some comment about corn before I dig deeper, just in case that is something that sparks his trust? Before
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be like, man, you know what I could really go for right now? And
Huh.
I'm gonna also use like a oh no wait. No, shape water would that be the
I mean,
concentration of
I
shaping water.
would I
I
would
was gonna
not
make
allow
my stomach gurgle. And then I was gonna be like,
yes.
man, but I'll just say I could really go for some corn right now.
Will
You know what I
immediately
mean?
perk up.
Keep up. Just
Uh,
some
and the proximity between you asking what his favorite word is and you mentioning corn out loud, definitely is suspect for him. Uh,
oh,
he, uh, it seems to be too much of a coincidence for his brain to
I
really come.
I register that is suspicious and I go, what no way. Is that your word, Peepa? Is it corn?
Ah!
Jeez, man, sometimes, that they say people are twin flames, right? They connect on some deeper level and you know, who's to say that that deeper level can't be corn, am I right? A mutual love for corn. Oh, he still isn't talking.
Nope.
Yeah.
And he like was making noises, right?
Mhm.
Can I whatever check you want to call it, just like kind of peer into like does it seem like it's a physical thing? Like does he like need like a voice box to speak? Does it seem like he's
Uh,
missing vocal cords?
I would. I feel like you would have to get his permission to look closer, but
Open
just
your
based on,
mouth.
I would let you make a medicine check, but the DC would be pretty high.
His
If
Okay.
you
mouth
make
is
a
full
DC
of corn.
18,
He's hiding a
Yeah.
bunch of corn in
I
them
I don't
cheeks.
want to open his mouth and look for a tongue, but just what I could maybe glean, which isn't going to be much. 14.
yeah, with a 14, you definitely. I mean, just from a social standpoint, it's odd to find a creature that doesn't speak willingly, um, who can make noise. Like obviously, he's an intelligent creature. He is walking and responding to complex questions. So his intelligence isn't so low that he can't speak. Um, but you're not quite sure either way. I think with a 14, you realize something may be the matter. Whether it's 100% physical, you are not sure.
Okay.
Vernon, would you like to press further, or are you good with
100%.
these?
And then
Ask
push
him
Okay.
why he's
yourself,
in jail, Vern.
All right. He's gonna make a wisdom saving throw. I need to see if it fails, you
18.
gain insight into its reasoning. Uh, something that looms large in its mind, something it worries over, loves, or hates. If it succeeds, the spell ends. Either way, the target knows that you are probing into its mind, and unless you shift your attention to another creature's thoughts, Creature can use its action to turn to make an intelligence check contested by your intelligence check, and if it succeeds, the spell ends. He's going to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
It's probably not going to be that good because he does not. 15.
Right, a little
What
deeper.
is your? What's your spell save DC?
18.
How badly did he fail? What is it?
18.
18. Okay, so not by a lot, but okay. Yeah. So you burrow a little bit deeper, and he will kind of look at you, not with concern or panic, just more. He's interested in what's happening now because he.
A big boy.
It's almost like a confirmation that it was not a coincidence that he was thinking about corn, then you started talking about corn, and now he can feel you inside of his mind. So he just kind of looks at you like, mm, mm.
Okay. And I go, as if he's still thinking about corn.
The amount of thought that this person puts into corn is wild. It blows your mind how much he thinks about daily. You know that he has committed at least 20 corn related recipes to memory. He
Yeah.
could probably make them for
Has-
you at a moment's notice if he had the rest or the ingredients available.
While I'm at this deeper level of corndom, has he ever created something like is it ethanol? What's it called when you use corn to propel things?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
ethanol.
Has he ever dabbled or like with his great corn mind thought of ways that that could be used to say move forward a giant train? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
He
good idea.
he is strictly concerned with the consumption and curation of corn. So you would glean that he has grown corn in the past. You see some distant memories of fields and from a first person perspective, hands that look very similar to Peepop's hands. You know, tilling soil by hand and picking corn and shucking corn. Uh, so he's definitely had that as a vocation in the past. Uh, nothing in the vein of fuel, unfortunately. Mostly just cuisine.
That's fair.
You would also recognize a a deep love of animals,
Aw,
except
elephants.
for coyotes. He
Oh.
hates coyotes.
Coyotes and corn.
Sounds like a
Favorite
Charlie Day dating
Yep.
profile. Likes corn, dislikes coyotes.
Yeah, he. If you probe into that section of his brain, the the fervor with which he dislikes coyotes almost rivals his love of corn. It's very close.
Ooh.
You could assume maybe at one point there were uh, several coyotes that would come in and steal his crops.
Okay. Can I can I dive deeper and specifically try to like dig into his past? Like back in his
Yep.
farming days, maybe something happened?
While
Yeah.
he's doing this, what are the odds that some of the rations that I brought with me would have corn?
Roll a d100. If you score in the top 40%, there's corn in your bag.
Bro,
Damn it!
bro, I could make you a fuck ton of corn, but that's all I can make.
Bro.
No corn.
So what exactly are you probing for, Vern?
I'm trying to
At
figure
the
out if I can figure out what he did that earned him a spot in the cell in the first place. That's really the main thing I
Gotcha.
want to know.
So give me Let's see. So he has a lot of corn related things floating around in his head. It seems to be occupying most of his brain power at this point in his life,
Is it a coping
and that
mechanism?
brings. It's a proverbial happy place for him. It kind of keeps him going.
Okay.
But if you push past that even deeper, you see him getting a little bit uncomfortable at this point. If you're trying to move past the fluff, the things that he really enjoys, um, you would see a small room, maybe a basement or a cellar, with a single oil lamp hanging from the ceiling, a table, a couple chairs around the table. Still, like the other memory, first person view, you can see Peepup's hands on several documents, handing them out to different people around his table, and they're kind of coming up, or they're coming down and going back up a set of stairs at the far end of this cellar. And he is, signing things and dating things for them. People are bringing him papers, and he's filling them out and giving them back to them. Uh, if you kind of watch him do this for several minutes, you would learn that he likely was caught and charged and sentenced to prison for forgery.
Oh. Can I tell what are the people that he's helping forge documents for? Do they seem like poor and also struggling?
Make an insight check, because that's very specific for this spell.
21.
Dang. Um, it's a general mix. You can tell that there are definitely people there that looked very impoverished. There are also certainly people there in fine clothing. There are you see creatures kind of all walks of life kind of go through Peepup's cellar. Um, so you would definitely know that it is it is not just the poor or destitute that he's helping out. It seems to be anyone that is willing to pay him to forge documents for them.
Okay. I mean, not super scary in terms of crimes go, I guess, but is
Nope.
there anything above game, anything worth prying deeper for? Or is this like I now know that he's not a murderer like his cohort over there?
If you probe further, you can certainly tell that he has never killed anybody. He is not a murderer for sure.
Okay.
And then, I mean, above him to save you from just guessing at things.
Uh-huh.
There's not much else that is egregious as far as things go. There are a little petty crimes. He had a few shoplifting incidents, some things like that, but nothing major like a giant forgery ring.
Okay. I will I will let up then and release his hold or my hold on his like brain, and Vern will just make a mental note that maybe later when he can speak to the group, I don't know if it even really matters, but if we ever do talk about our prisoners, I'll share that detail with them. I don't think that we're in a place, nor I don't think Vern is in a place that he's going to vigilante free this guy because he thinks he's wrongfully imprisoned. But
Mhm.
maybe he'll make mental note to, I don't know, encourage encourage giving him a little. Maybe he'll say something like, "Yeah, we hit some trouble on the road, but thanks to Keep Up here and his uh, great ideas that he communicates through grunts and uh, blinks, he really helped us. So it'd be really great if in the prison yard you gave him a little patch where he can grow his corn, something like that."
Yeah.
Good It seems
behavior.
a little wild that
Or
he's going to maximum security, definitely.
for forgery.
I was
All
just thinking
these
that.
years. But I'll see what the group
So
thinks. I don't know. Vern's sense of law and order isn't like as strong as others in this group, so he doesn't know how the rest of them are going to feel about forgery as a crime.
Sorry about that.
I mean, we might put ourselves in a bad situation with the
I'm telling you right now, this
the-
motherfucker is going to that prison one way or the other.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I figured. But he can still have his corn patch, maybe.
Should he? Yeah, I love the idea of a corn patch for that
Mhm.
that little guy.
It'll be the after story after we claimed the orbs and killed Visick and everything's moved on. Vern's like, I'm going back to Kazat.
Peepup's
Find
corn
him.
adventure.
Visit Peep Up and get him a little corn patch in his maximum security prison.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's gonna make me ethanol, baby.
Make that moonshine.
Now, I'll say this: if P-Up had a plan to have ethanol, maybe Vern would be a little more adamant about keeping him out of prison. But
you can always advocate for his release at a later date if you get him there safely.
that's true. Okay, cool. All right.
Anybody else? Anyone want to do anything with your 2.5 hours?
Think of something. I have to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
So we already know what the other guy's in for.
Yeah, you would be well aware.
Allegedly.
Also, I think it should be noted retroactively. I think I mentioned this a little bit last week. People just have been shifting Peep Up around to different prisons because he's in prison. So like he just goes where the system takes him. So nobody really knows what his crime was. Like every once in a while, he'll shift to like a slightly higher level of security, maybe by accident or something. So he's wound up in these super high security places just because the
Not totally reflective of the
it
crime.
was yeah
This sounds
because
like
he doesn't say anything. So when people ask him what he did, he doesn't say anything, and they're like, "Okay, well, you're going to prison then. Like
Yeah.
you're just gonna go into prison. That's
sounds
fine."
like job for Eric. Stand up for
Yeah,
this man. He belongs in a minimum security prison.
Mm.
He's done his time, damn it. Get him out.
He's
I
done
think-
his time.
I think Eric's going to spend this time traveling with Crowbar, learning any elephant language he can. I feel like Crowbar would be a little bit resistant, so I feel like Eric will just take what he can get. Like, you don't say, okay, Oh, so that's how you say greeting. Okay, all
I don't think elephants have a language, dude.
right. What was he doing that other day?
If he was speaking with animals, but via spell.
I think we discovered that an elephant's intelligence, not only its lowest stat, but it's like dreadfully low. It's like negative
3.
Dog shit.
Yeah, it's
Which is
really-
surprising.
negative 4. It is so bad.
Is
So,
it?
no, elephant does not have its own language. It just like
Is it a series of horn
instinctually does
noises?
Um, I think that with Speak with
Grumbles?
Animals, you could get basic ideas across to an elephant / travel commands.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're controlling them. They're mounts. They're
I guess
smart
I
enough
could have
to go
prepared
in the
that over a
direction.
long rest.
What did you say, Eric? I'm so sorry.
Oh, sorry. I guess I didn't think of that, but I could have prepared that over a long rest.
Gotcha. But yeah, I mean, you're more than welcome to converse with the elephant all you want. It will not give you very good or worthwhile answers.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you really want to talk to the elephant, I can not actually do it, but because you technically speak with animals as self, but just because I thought it'd be funny last week, cast on a crowbar.
Mm-hmm. But I thought
The-
Crowbar had an innate ability, right?
Oh yeah, he did have a ritual technically, I believe. That's true.
Yep,
Hmm.
sure did.
Okay. Yeah. Not really seeing anything with this.
Okay. Sitting between you and Brackle, Eric, um, Voresh is going to be notably silent as well. This dude is, to give you some physical context, giant. Obviously he's a Goliath descendant of giant heritage, but he is absolutely huge. He's close to 7 feet tall. His shoulders are broader than you and Brackle put together. He is a huge dude. He is sitting in the back seat of your elephant, and the two of you are in front of him. He is chained to the elephant in 9 different places. So he has his waist chained to his seat. He has both of his legs chained in 2 different places, and he has both of his arms chained down in 2 different places. He is not going anywhere, but they were not taking any precautions. He's not saying anything behind you. Every once in a while, if an elephant hits a hole in the sand or walks over a larger dune or a rock and it's kind of more bumpy, he'll grunt a little bit, but he largely is keeping to himself. He's not doing anything super egregious as far as interacting with the two of you goes.
Could I put an insight on his uh, body language, thought process as he is reacting slightly?
Yeah, roll insight. Both of you could roll insight, honestly.
Who, me too?
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys are on the elephant together with him. Oh.
20.
15.
Nice. With a 15, you can tell that this guy is not necessarily mad, but he's also not happy. He's just kind of apathetic. Uh, you could tell maybe he is relieved to be out in fresh air, like to just be out and moving around. But he's not giving you much with a 15. You just assume he's there. He's probably been moved before. This is just a routine thing that he knows that he has to get through to get to the next place and threaten new prisoners like he's done. With a 20, though, Eric, you glean just a tiny twinge of fear. You don't know if that's because you're going into the wilds and he knows something about that, or if it's because of where he's going. You're not sure. But it seems that he is just the slightest bit uneasy about something that's happening during this journey.
Gavoresh?
All right, we're going to talk to him. Cool. Uh, he's just going to grunt at you.
Grunt. He's locking eyes. Take it.
He will avert eyes, notedly.
Yeah. Does my insight show any maybe target of the fear or
No, not with a 20.
it's okay. Gavoresh, you got yourself caught. You're going to a higher level. How many times is this for you moving?
It's the same level, you idiot.
I think Brackle would actually laugh out loud like that.
I butt him with that crossbow.
me, me or Gortash or Gore.
Prisoner.
Oh, okay.
Man,
Thwack.
really?
Thwack.
Yeah, this is exactly what I want to happen on top of a moving elephant.
That crossbow,
Do I,
man.
I have to roll to hit? Do you want me to do that?
Are you are you actually gonna hit him with your crossbow?
Yeah, just shut him up. Tell him not to call me an idiot.
Oh, yeah. Roll the hit. Why not?
Yeah. um. So I've got my crossbow, right? Obviously, that's usually a hit with like ranged in mind. So
But and just before you do this, Eric, I feel obligated to remind you that this is not Graham Sullivan. Like this is not a common person. This- but please proceed however you would like to.
mm,
Just letting you know that it's not
The gears are turning. It's like.
mm.
He's got the pen of
Let me-
aggression from Graham. He's got to get out now.
yeah.
all right.
All right.
Eric puts his hand towards his crossbow at his side, has a second thought, takes his hand off. So what
Gavorish will watch you do this,
so
and he'll say, "What are you gonna do with that little stick shooter, bitch?"
I'll turn around. Or wait, I'm behind him. Like he's
You,
riding in the middle.
what's the seating arrangement?
yeah. So he's behind, and you are both in front of him. So you're sitting next to each other, and he's like 4 feet behind you.
Let's say I gave you the first one. Don't make another comment. You have those chains on there, but I don't need them.
Ooh.
He'll say, "You're gonna try and hit me with your weapon too."
I don't need to move my hand to hurt you.
He he's gonna make an athletics check.
Go for it.
He's gonna in an attempted show of prowess. He's gonna try and break the chains uh, on his right arm. He's superior, and they start to bend a little bit. Like the weakest links are starting to bend, but they certainly don't break. And he'll just kind of in anger, just kind of and sit back down, and he won't say anything after that.
That's a good buddy.
Do you actually say that?
No, I don't say that.
I think I would like to see with my thaumaturgy.
Okay.
I'd
So
like to see with the back of my crossbow how his head
Yeah.
feels.
Yes, he called you a bitch now, not just an idiot.
no, I just
Two strikes.
I want to put like a sound originating around the back of his like shoulder, back, a snake hissing.
Rude.
Okay. Uh, uh, yeah. So first of all, Brackle, how do you react to this? Because you're not communicating about this. How does a snake thing behind you?
I think I just
how does-
like look wherever it's supposed to be at. Like, I don't think there's supposed to be snakes out here.
he will not budge at all. He is. Uh, he will kind of chuckle. Actually, I'm gonna have him make an Arcana check.
Hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't know that it's a spell. but he just assumes that it's an actual animal that you can hear from the desert floor. And he'll chuckle a little bit and he'll say, "Those are just my pythons hissing."
I like this guy.
Bitch.
Are there any breaks in any of the chains?
No. A few of them bent a little bit, but they're pretty solid chains.
Can I touch those and restore those with mending?
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, as you move back towards his seat, he's gonna stand up as much as he can. So he's still like secured down to the seat, but he gets like 2 or 3 inches off of the seat. He's just like standing, straining against the the bands there,
Yeah.
and he's just gonna get right just as close to your face as possible and stare at you as you go to touch the chains.
Okay. I think I can will like change my eyes with thaumaturgy to my like snake eyes, I don't know. Yellow, tall slits.
Okay.
Yeah.
He will notice that because he's looking you directly in the eye, and he'll say, "What? You didn't like your older eyes, bitch?"
Fight, fight,
And
fight.
I just do the reptile blink. I don't answer. I grunt. Mm.
Okay.
No, stop.
But yeah, I fixed the chains.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'll say that with mending, the damage wasn't extensive enough that that's outside of your realm of possibility. That's fine. And as you go back up to your seat, he will sit back down. What an encounter.
Yeah.
I was gonna say whenever we started this conversation like an hour ago, I was just gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like keep an eye out, like just look for stuff to be, and then
Yeah.
these wonderful conversations.
Amazing. Yeah,
Bitch.
that'll.
Bitch. You're so scary, Voresh.
He thinks he is, certainly.
Look at you getting all 2 to 3 inches out of your seat.
Yeah, so you keep journeying on. Like I said before, the weather remains the same pretty much throughout the desert. Um, Vern, you rolled a 96 on your D100 earlier.
Mhm.
And as you're journeying into the midday, so the sun is starting to reach its highest peak in the sky. It's beginning to get very hot. Uh, I would like all of you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Sorry guys, I wish I was closer.
I would say, yeah, where's Teth?
That is in the worst spot possible.
Yeah, didn't know
my
we were
God.
doing con saves.
No joke. I've rolled a 10 on my die every single time except once tonight.
That's wild.
Just slightly below
Pretty-
average.
Pretty close to average.
16's okay. Well, should be worse.
Someone's close to Teth, right? Hargrave. Oh, okay.
Is it
Ion
now?
is,
Nope. Ion, yeah.
which
His
doesn't
mount.
get tired. This doesn't get tired because it's a fucking imaginary
Right.
spirit.
The elephants and Apollo also do not need to save. They are built for desert travel, so they are not going to make this con save.
Does that-
Also, because they're
Wait.
not here, I'm not going to save for Crowbar and Elias. We'll just say that they're good traveling.
Does it affect me if I don't need to drink water?
It does. This is not an internal thing, but you saved,
Okay.
so you're.
Okay.
Would
guess
I
could-
potentially have advantage because where I grew up in the heat?
I'm gonna say no
Okay.
because we've never discussed any type of racial trait like that.
You gotta try.
I'm sure we could cultivate something like that in the future, though. That's a good idea. This is for Peepup.
Beep beep. Hey,
He's
beep
gonna
beep.
save, and Gavorish. He's gonna save.
Also, if Urzak is obviously getting overheated,
He's painting like a dog.
yeah, can I be like, hey, buddy, I got you, and can I try to shape water some sweat off him so it can his body can reduce heat faster?
Do Dragonborn sweat the same way people do?
I'm gonna say, is he like hot blooded or cold blooded?
Yeah, what are lizards?
So Urzak,
All screw up in the
You-
desert.
yeah,
Okay.
Urzak and Brackle, you guys are not going to save. The combination of the bright light and the direct sunlight and the heat coming up from the sand is just a lot. You know, Urzak, you grew up in the desert. You've spent a lot of time in the desert. You have an innate ability with the element of ice and snow. So normally the inside temperature of your body is lower. For whatever reason, possibly the proximity to the wilds or just having not been home for quite a bit, it's
the
getting
elephant.
to you.
Higher for the ground.
Yeah, it's true. You're closer to the sun. Yeah. You and I hate calling it fire damage because it really is not, but heat damage. You and Brackle are both going to take 2d8 fire
Oh
damage.
my god.
Bitch.
You're gonna get sun poisoned.
Bitch.
Huh,
Oh
average.
yeah, you take 6
Good.
fire damage,
I'll take it.
and
I'll allow it.
everybody else, you are immune to this weather condition for the next 24 hours. So Brackle and Urzak, I'm going to have you re-roll in a bit.
Your mom will reroll.
So it's getting very hot, and on the horizon you see kind of a cliff formation, a rock formation, maybe 10-15 minutes away south. It's on your way to where you're going, so you know that you're going to pass by it. It doesn't seem very complex. It's just a system of different hills. And as you near it, you can see that up on the top of this structure, there is an entrance, some type of cave mouth that goes into this this little mountain. And you're passing it by, so you certainly can choose to go by it. It doesn't look like it is dangerous in any way, but it is there if you'd like to investigate it with a 96, Vern. This is your 96 on the D100.
Oh, really? Oh, then.
Yep.
Oh, hey guys, do you see? Look at that cave opening up there. Doesn't it? Doesn't it just kind of call to you a little bit?
Urzak will stand up and shout out to Teth.
Oi.
Wanna check that out there? If there's anything worthwhile.
Yep. And Teth, with having a little bit more movement speed, we'll try and go take a little peeky real quick. Take a peeky boo, do flyby or two.
I'll shoot a bardic before you head off.
Ah, what a guy. Take a little peeky boo and just make sure there's nothing obviously like I don't know. There's not just like a fucking a dying group of civilians inside the cave or something ridiculous.
Yeah. So you just fly up to the opening. Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah, basically do a flyby, not like necessarily go into the hole, but to get close enough to make a good observation, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah. So you kind of fly up along the face of this rock formation up towards this entrance here. You can tell that it is a single structure. It's not a series of hills or anything like that. It's very self-contained. Um, the sides of it are rather flat with narrow kind of uh, trails leading up to it. So if you're not flying, you could assume that it would take a minute for several people to safely climb up to this opening. And as you are nearing the opening, you definitely hear some noise inside, and it does sound like some type of creature that they're speaking common, and they are crying out for help. They are uh, asking for some sort of aid. They may not be saying help specifically, but it seems like they are under duress.
How far away is this from like basically point of cry for help to party on elephants? And
Well,
how high?
would you? I'll ask you this. So you see it from quite a ways away. Um, you have a bit of travel to get there. Are you going to wait until the party passes the rock formation to go up and investigate?
No, I guess what I'm trying to get an idea of is like, is this something where I just fly up for a minute or 20 seconds or 5 seconds that I can go do look at real quick and then come back? Or is it something like, oh no, you went out for 5 minutes?
You're about with a how? What's the flight speed on a Paraton? That's I.
Its base is 60, so
Okay,
theoretically double move 120.
gotcha. Yeah, with that flight speed, you're looking at about 5 minutes to fly up to the rock structure, um, to hear that and then fly back. That's going to take about 10 minutes of your time.
Fuck. So
It is
flying up is
40
pretty
feet
high.
above
Sorry,
the
say that
opening.
again.
The opening on the rock face is about 40 feet above the ground.
Fuck. I don't think I have anything that can. Man, good thing I got rid of fucking daylight. God damn it.
Hey, man.
Mm.
Little bitch. Bitch.
Every time you cast daylight from now on,
Hey, man.
that's the form it
Daylight.
takes.
Oh, I know what I'll do.
Nightman casts darkness.
Uh, so it clearly sounds like somebody in duress or distress, right?
Yes.
Um, does this sound like somebody who's actually in distress or?
Make an insight check.
Ooh, not right now. Fucking. 13. That's a 13.
Going to be a judgment call on your part. It sounds like somebody is definitely in danger,
Okay.
but it could go either way. You're not sold.
Okay. God damn. So above game, I really don't want to do stuff by myself because it's like core. Don't fucking separate from the party logic. Hmm. Okay. I'm going to get off of my Periton and get somewhere safe, and I'm going to send the Periton back to rendezvous with the group and lead them to where this person is yelling and hooting and hollering.
Great. What's the intelligence of what's the Ion's intelligence?
So there's a special thing it gets because it's a special mount. So if it has an intelligence of less than 6, or 5 or lower, it becomes 6. But in this case, his intelligence is 9, a -1.
Nice.
Almost as intelligent as Teth. And I can basically communicate verbally, or not verbally, telepathically for it with 1 mile. So if shit hits the fan, then I can at least let it know telepathically. But I want to send it back, and the intent is to let the party know to move forward. But Teth kind of wants to keep an eye on the situation without getting as involved with as much as possible. But he didn't necessarily want to like leave. I don't know if somebody's fucking bleeding out, and they walk out and they have a fucking hemorrhaging head wound.
Right.
You know what I mean? He can address the situation, but it's not like he wants to go kick in the door, sort of, so to speak. He just
Right.
kind of wants to continue to assess the situation and intervene if it gets fucking crazy, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, the Paraton is going to come back to the rest of the party and kind of express the best that it can what's going on. What are you going to send Ion specifically to anybody, or just kind of like back to the party and let them know what's going on?
It would approach Vern.
Okay. What is Ion going to say to Vern?
How does it like act to Vern?
Yeah.
It'll land. Well, not land because technically Vern's up on top of an elephant.
So yeah, how would an elephant feel? Periton landing on it.
Yeah. It'll go next to Vern and kind of like hover by it, and then just like take its little claw talons and like pat 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 on his like shoulders, and then like look to back where he was at and kind of start to go that way, back in that direction.
Yeah, Fern will like get startled, like oh, you can't do that. What's that? What's that, Ion? Is little Teth in the well? Do we have to?
Well, there's a boy in the well.
Hey, Urzak, Ion is Tethless.
And then
We should follow, right?
Can we see? Can we like? I assume we're not like, hey, Teth, go check that out, and then we stop looking at the situation. We see Teth get off of Ion.
You're a ways away, but you would see Ion come back without him, so you would assume that he is still over there, and Ion is not like freaking out about Teth, I guess. So I think you would be able to assume that Teth is not in immediate danger.
Does Ion seem open to the idea of somebody getting on his back? Or is he like
do you
doing
ask him?
something? I guess Ion approaches. I guess Urzak's first instinct is for someone to jump on his back. Presumably Vern, who's
I mean, Ion's kind of dragon-like, right?
I'll put a little picture of him again.
what are they? They're part reindeer, part bird.
That's right. That's right. He's that thing.
Yeah, they're. This is the kind of
A Warforged.
generated
Oh
imagery.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
Keep
Graphically
discussing. I'm
attractive.
gonna go help with Archer real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's great because I can reread this spell. I'm pretty sure that they can understand common, they just can't speak it. But I
Sounds
want to
right.
double check that because I have not used this spell that much. Let's see, no spells. Find greater steed, fucking 18.
But pretty much at this point, Urzok would be like expecting Vern to get on Ion.
Yeah, that was the
I'll,
the other idea
I'll
I
hop
had.
on, but I guess we wouldn't know any better. But I can just imagine that Tef will not be happy if like go and get help and it's just Vern that shows up like I got you, buddy.
Or buddy, God, what is it called? Fucking not combat buddies. There's a
Battle
term for
buddies?
that. Battle buddies, yeah.
Little buddy.
Battle buddies is a thing.
Okay.
Where the fuck is this at?
I mean, I would jump on if Urzok like ushers me to
Yeah,
go
it does.
or
And
nods or something.
it doesn't kind of just get on it right away. Urzok's like, well, are you gonna go or?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll look expectingly
Vern will get on it and
at Bird. Yeah. The main reason I thought about it was because of Zapdos. So I was like, in my head, even though that's not how this works, Ion is like mechanical.
oh
summon.
right, a mechanical flying creature. So
Yeah. And it was like, oh, Zapdos is a mechanical bird. So naturally they can speak to each other, right? Because that's how
That is true.
things work. But it totally isn't. But yeah, I did
The
look it
idea-
up. It
Good.
understands one language, so it would have been common.
I like the idea of Ion showing up and Vern's like, oh, hey, buddy. Do you want to learn how to pick berries?
Yeah.
Do you want to learn? Do you want
Who's
to learn a
got the
trick?
strong wings on you?
Squaw. Yep, and plus I also decided that whatever this is, it was Trent's fault for rolling a 96. So
It's gotta be a good thing though, right? 96.
either really good or really bad.
Not a great
Mhm.
start.
I almost just said, fuck it. What is this? A cave? Nobody cares about cave. And then it's like there's somebody screaming for help. I'm like, great, there's a mimic in there. That's about
Yeah,
to fucking
nobody's screaming for help because they need help eating all the ice cream.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Help! There's too much ice cream.
Ah shit, I gotta get my
It's-
boy Vern. He wants
It's
eating
gonna
contest.
melt. Somebody help!
I'm gonna get a brain freeze.
That reminds me of I haven't seen it for forever, but there is like an Adventure Time episode where it was like just ice cream. They had to eat all this ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. It was the three little pig, or like the magic wands, or with the, or no, it was the frog knight that was guarding the three beans that grew this
God.
three pods.
By the way, thanks for hanging out tonight because tomorrow morning I have a surgery.
Oh yeah, what's going on?
So you guys see the bandages on my head?
Yeah, I was gonna ask what
Yeah.
happened, but I'm sure
little bit
everybody and your mother has been asking you.
Yeah, like little basal skin cancer carcinoma. So I'm gonna have it like cut off tomorrow morning.
Shit.
Hey,
Yeah, so-
Brad.
So, wish me
So
luck.
it's just basal cell though.
But just basal. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, I had mine
So wear
carved
sunscreen.
here when I
Mhm.
was 30, and then like
Mm.
2 years after when I was 32, I have like a scar here. And
Oh really?
I tell you what, when you're in there, you're gonna be like the youngest guy in there because it was like me and like a bunch of like 80-year-old men, like white men. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh boy, like
That's what I've been dealing with, going to the dermatologist and
mm,
plastic surgeon recently.
Well,
okay.
hopefully everything's okay.
I don't know if you guys had seen it, but I'd had these little spots like for a couple years. So like I
Really?
had no idea. I thought they were just like scabs that were messing up because of the pressure from the shower head or
Hmm.
just rubbing off.
Mhm.
I didn't, like I picked one and it reopened. shit.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
year in, year out, it was like 2 years old. I'm like,
Yep.
let's just go get it checked out, and then it turns out, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
My
that's why
complexion, I should have
mine-
known. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I'm
just
surprised
it's,
I'm
it's
not
a
there yet.
wound that doesn't heal completely. It's usually a pretty good telltale sign.
Yes.
That's what mine was. I had like this red dot. I thought was a zit, and then I thought it just like left a mark, but like never fully healed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to know that like I'm not alone in this like young age
Hey,
of like having
represent
it.
basal cell people. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's fine. In the
obviously,
grand scheme
I
of things, basal
dude,
cells.
I'm like going out in like 4 p.m. with like overcast weather, and then
Uh-huh.
sunset's like an hour away. I'm like, all right, sunblock.
No, that's always a good choice though.
It's like
even in
sunblock,
winter.
like basically like a lotion before going to bed. Like,
Yeah. Now I will say this though, you're gonna because they have to. I don't know if you're cool if we talk about it, but if it makes you uncomfortable. But like, cause when they do cut, they cut a little farther, so you're gonna have like a cool like
okay,
stitch thing going on.
so right here,
Uh-huh.
above my eyebrow, they're planning a half moon cut.
Yeah. Okay.
So they say the recovery with the sutures are gonna be dissolvable,
Hmm.
but I'm gonna have an inquisitive eyebrow for a week.
That's
Just
fantastic.
like, just the one will be inquisitive.
Yeah.
It's like when people draw eyebrows on their babies.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been saying it's gonna be like Dwayne Johnson, and then
Very nice.
and then this one's just right here in the middle, a little
Mhm.
smaller. So yeah,
Yeah.
wish me luck.
I when I had this, the one on my cheek wasn't so much. When I had the one on my eye, it also like blew out my eye, so it was like I had like a black eye. And I had like
Aw.
stitches and stuff like that, and my students were just terrified of me.
Aw.
And I explained, and they knew what it was, but I was still just like a scary looking dude. And I think would that have been? Yeah. Oh no, maybe not. No, never mind. Because it was also around the same time that I had to like grow out my beard for assassins when I did that with Barlos. And that so I was like a scary looking dude for that like second semester. Because like eventually the lines fade, but you do have like a red line for like a little bit, like like 6 months afterwards. So I had like my red line across my cheek, and I had this awful looking beard. I was just like
It was one of those.
scary
You should
dude.
have seen the other guy.
Yeah, with the black eye. I'm sure I have pictures somewhere. I took
With
a
the
picture
cheek
of this-
thing, it makes it look like like a hook or some kind of like cut around the mouth.
Yeah.
Jeez. Is it do they put you under for it, or is it just like a local
No.
anesthetic?
You can, but I chose local. I'm going to Flower Hospital. Should be 45 minutes, they said.
It's not bad.
What was funny was I went to the dermatologist initially. Well, first I'm calling, hey, can I make an appointment for the dermatologist? Yeah, we'll see you January 24th. And I'm calling like end of November.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, I'll keep calling. Next place I call, yeah, we'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm like, sweet.
Much better.
So
Yeah.
wild how that goes. And then when I get there, they see me. We're looking at the big spot. We don't even check out the other. We're so focused on this one. So a week later, I mentioned because they gave me the biopsy for it. Like, yeah, it is what we thought it is. And I said, what about the other one? Did you guys? I thought maybe it was like a sample of both. They're like, oh my god, what do you mean? I'm like, you want to go do that one too? I was like, okay, yeah. So we do it. So could have gone smoother, but
It's like, nah, I'm gonna let the other one I'm gonna see him ride that one out and see what happens.
yeah, it's the exact same thing going on.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 inches away. It's like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
But
Wow, that's
didn't even
crazy.
notice.
It's not like, one was on your head and one was on your butt cheek or anything like that. It's like they're right there.
But that's the other thing. I can't check my butt cheek, so I have to go every year for
That's true.
a check anyway.
For the butt cheek check.
Yeah, the butt check.
Check
Getting
that booty.
Most of us are almost to that age where it's, what is it, like 40? Start getting fucking colonoscopies. There's a
colonoscopy
guy-
at 45. That's what my Piece, primary care said yesterday.
Yeah,
You know
I
what they
need.
used
I actually need to get it like now because my mom had colon cancer.
Oh, yeah. I say if you're if it's like in the family, they recommend you get it earlier usually.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you've got like constipation like regularly, like you might want to. And
Dude,
No.
I never have constipation because all I do is fucking chug pre-workout
Chug
and fucking
water.
mainline caffeine and water all fucking day.
I've been upping like fiber, but I am also like drinking almost like 3 liters of water a day. So
Yeah.
that'll negate
Water's
that.
good for you, man.
Yeah, heck yeah.
That's what
Honestly,
they
need
say.
to honestly need to take a fiber supplement, but
Get those poops a little tighter.
Yeah, I feel like
yeah,
that's something you can put in with your protein shake pretty easily, right?
yeah, I don't take protein shakes though. I just drink Fairlife milk out the bottle, off the titty, because it's
I gotta tell you, I used to use Fairlife as a base for my protein shakes.
be fucking super protein shake.
Yeah. It was. I remember it was like, as I said, like 70 grams of protein in a shake, some shit like that.
It's funny because you sent me that video which reminds me of all I've thought about for the last week is fucking bagels, chocolate sauce, peanut butter, and
Dude,
honey.
I've brought it up in conversation like at least no less than 6 times,
Yep.
which
And
is
I'm like,
which is more than once a day since Thursday.
That's like my favorite thing ever was when you're like just eating bagels, then it's like Eric recovered from all status indicators or something. And Donnie was like healing bagels or something.
Yep. Dude, it was funny because you sent me that video with Sam Sulik talking about bulking, and like literally last night I was sitting there and I was just eating. I was drinking. I've been doing my peanut butter for extra calories that I usually do, but for dessert I do like 2 cups of the chocolate Fairlife milk, which is like fucking like 25, 30 grams of protein.
Yeah.
But then I'll just slam a bunch of Oreos. I'll slam like fucking 8 Oreos just to get
Yeah.
calories. But then, and then you sent me that video at like later on. I was like, yep.
Yeah, I will say this about the dude is that like out of everyone that I've seen on TikTok that's like, yeah, I do steroids, he's probably like the most pleasant, easygoing.
Not yeah, he's pretty chill, dude.
But
He's gonna actually be in Columbus, I think. Arnold Classic is that in Columbus?
Arnold Classic, yeah, that's over here.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's actually gonna be there with some other people, but
With Annie.
I know fucking I saw a video of Ronnie Coleman the other day, and he's like fucking in a wheelchair. Like, goddamn,
Wow.
Oh,
it was
really?
rough. Yeah, I don't know if he had an accident or what, but I think he had a spine injury. I think is what it was. But yeah, he looks rough, man.
How old is he?
Dude, I have no fucking clue. I know he's not young.
He's got to be like in his 60s, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because it's weird because like I feel like 10 years ago he looked like he was in his 30s, but what the fuck does Mariah say? She's my buddy's wife is
Black
half
don't
black.
crack?
Black don't crack. That's what she says. That's it.
Yep.
Mhm.
Let's see, Ronnie. Let's see. Yeah, he's 59. But I know he competed when he was pretty old whenever he was still competing. But damn, motherfucker's huge.
And his brother, Gary Coleman.
Not as huge.
Yeah, not
They have like a black version of Twins, the
Yep,
movie.
that'd be great. Ronnie Coleman and Gary Coleman.
It's funny because you have I gotta show these pictures now. It's like you pull it up and then you have that, right? And then you got fucking Ronnie, who's just fucking
Who
goddamn
put
monster.
Damon? Nice. Nice job, Donovan.
What's that?
Brad?
I said, who put Damon there? I said, nice job.
Oh yeah. Andrew said it.
Mhm.
Have you guys seen like the
Friday
live,
night, man.
where they actually do it live? The
Broadway,
cast,
no.
Mm-mm.
pretty freaking good.
Sounds cool. Sounds like it'd be a fucking hilarious time.
Hmm I mean, like it's the whole thing drawn out to, 2-3 times the length. Yeah.
It's funny. I was sitting here thinking, well, old Schwarzenegger's is he's approaching the age where he runs for president, and I was like, how old is he? He's fucking 76.
Yep, just about the right age.
Yeah, I
Just
say
about the right
nowadays.
age. Because you got to figure at some point that's like gonna go back down, right? You're gonna have presidents who are 40 again because all these old people die off, right?
One can
Eventually.
hope.
We
Boomers
find
are
the
hanging
secret.
on like a fucking dingleberry.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't go the other direction and just keeps increasing.
God. I mean, like it's a weird thing because like life expectancy is going up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the natural progression is that the average person will be older with time, right?
Working age is going up.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
But
Everything's stretching out theoretically.
I think so. Yeah.
but
That's what she said. Pretty horrible. I'm sorry.
solid.
And not wrong.
hey.
Saying something, Billy, about natural progression of longevity.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like it's one of those things where like I feel like mathematically it makes sense, but when you look at the mental stability of older politicians, you're like, holy shit, how the fuck is this okay?
Yeah.
And they're making decisions that affect other people and not them because they're about to die.
Right.
Right.
People for generations that probably, they won't see.
Michigan's up 7-3 with 4 minutes in the first quarter.
I should.
Dude, I was looking at the NFL stuff yesterday, and I was like, dude, there's so many teams that were like 9-8, or like they were like all a bunch that were like in contention, like all middle of the road teams.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
It was a very tight race until like the last 2 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengal pretty much put it like I think like the last spot, at least in the AFC, which I know a lot better than the NFC. In the AFC, with the last 2 weeks to play, there were still like 7 teams that could take the last 2 spots.
Hmm.
I can't believe the Bengals beat the Browns yesterday.
They were playing the third stringers. Like
Oh, okay.
they benched so many people.
Dude, I was everybody in fucking Pittsburgh was losing their goddamn minds.
Yeah. They basically like they won and they needed somebody else to win as well. And Tennessee pulled off a pretty good win. But
Any win for Tennessee is a good win for them.
yeah. Can't say that after they fucking murdered the Bengals this season.
Oh shit.
I think they got shut out. It was like 27-0. They got fucking murdered.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the height of them being like, yeah, just keep playing Joe Burrow until he's healthy again. That's how that works. And they had this excellent backup the entire time.
Yeah. Also, maybe get a line that protects the quarterback and he wouldn't get injured as much.
Dude,
It's just a thought.
like obviously we're not NFL coaches or professionals by any stretch, but
Mm-hmm. But come on.
seems pretty easy.
Looks like the Lions are in the NFL wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Lions actually won the division, so they get to host their playoff game.
Yeah. Lions and Browns are both in the playoff. What a year.
I'm trying to think of who I'm rooting for now. Because at the game that like really decides it for me, was that a touchdown? Oh yeah, he's going in.
Oh,
13.
am I behind? Oh yeah, I'm behind.
I'm usually behind. My boy Donovan.
I want everybody, or I want the Cowboys to lose because everybody at work down
Oh
south
yeah,
roots for the
abs-
Cowboys.
yep.
Just by
I'm with you there.
sheer proximity.
I was say
Just like
I think the biggest game that determines who I want to go to the Super Bowl is the Browns and Texans game.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would love to see either of those teams do well, but they play each other first round, so it's like,
Oh,
well,
oh yeah, yep.
I would. Yeah, I'd love to see Stroud go to the Super Bowl. That'd be sick.
yeah, it would be. I don't know the last time a rookie quarterback went to the Super Bowl.
Roethlisberger. Got to be someone before that.
Did Burrow?
No,
Okay, wasn't
no,
his first year.
he was like that was his comeback year, I think,
Okay.
because he was
But I
basically
think he
played
made it
for
to the
half the season
AFC's
and
championship in
injured.
his rookie year against the Chiefs.
No, he was injured his first year. That's
Hmm.
basically what happened.
Um,
The first year he was healthy, I'm pretty sure he went to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Let's see.
Kaepernick count as a rookie when he played against the Ravens.
Oh, no, he didn't go last year.
No rookie quarterback has ever started a Super Bowl.
Damn. So yeah,
And no
it'd
yeah.
be pretty cool to see CJ Stroud there. But there are 4 rookies who have gotten to conference championships games. Or, I'm sorry, 5, because Purdy went, Roethlisberger, Flacco, Mark Sanchez, and then whoever the fuck Sean King is.
Oh, I think Sean King played for the Bengals.
Donking?
Allegedly, he played for the Bucks. So
Buccaneers.
Buckholes.
in that game, he had 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for 163 yards.
Not great.
Yep. Better than Joe Flacco's game, where he went 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions for 141 yards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Browns Ravens game.
The Ravens are fucking tough.
Yeah, they're on fire.
Dude, Flacco's just a playoff boy. As long as he can get in the playoffs, he's gonna play well.
And you say that. The Bengals have beat them 2 years in a row now. Although one of those times was because Sam Hubbard got a fucking scoop and score at the 2-yard line.
Mm. Well, Flacco hasn't started in how many years?
Oh, Flacco? Yeah, no, Flacco isn't. Well,
That's what I'm saying. Get him to the playoffs, and he.
Oh, you're talking about Flacco. You said the Ravens.
Oh, well, yeah.
Flacco. Yeah. He definitely has made it to the postseason. I watched him play like a game when he was with the Jets, and he did not look good.
Hmm.
I think they might have had him in for like 2 drives.
And they said, yeah, no.
Oh, that's what I tell you, Billy. Yeah, so like all those teams that are like 9-8, 9-8.
Yeah.
The AFC North, which is the Bengals, Browns, Ravens, and Steelers, are the first division to have everybody in the division have a winning record. Like since like the 50s or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, that is That's so weird. I'm looking at it now. It's like 13-4, 11-6, 10-7, 9-8.
I think what happened was basically everyone split except for the Bengals. Everyone just beat the Bengals this year in their division.
Hmm.
The Bengals went 1-7 in their division.
Oh my god.
And the only reason they beat the Browns is because the Browns weren't playing their starters.
Yeah.
So it's a tough division to be in.
It's funny because isn't there well, minus the Bengals, right? Everybody else is in the contention, right?
Yeah, they're all going to the playoffs. Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, what a run. Oh, that was a pass. Sorry. Is Michigan about to score again? And oh, they're not going to stop the clock.
If this dude keeps running the fucking ball like that,
That's not Donovan though.
here's
Who's
the other
that?
guy,
Is that Corum?
Arm, I think.
Or what? Corum's 44, isn't he?
Well, it makes me feel a little better about Ohio State season.
Does it?
I feel a little better. I didn't say it. I feel. I mean, listen. No matter what way you put it, Ohio State still had a great season. Just because they're not winning a national championship doesn't mean they didn't have a good year.
It'll be interesting to see how this kid from Kansas State plays. His stats weren't that great.
He's huge. That's all I've seen.
Oh, he's massive. Yeah,
He's
he's like.
just a giant fucking guy. He'll
So
be
we'll
good
see.
if he can just see over the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, Fields is pretty big too, right? I'd say he was like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was 6'3" for some reason.
He looks like a fucking tight end.
The Kansas State guy.
Yeah.
I really wanted Cameron Ward. That's who I was hoping would
Who does he play
transfer
for?
in. Ward was Washington State, I think.
Oh, okay. And I forget which Washington is going to the Big Ten.
Washington.
Is it just Washington? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one playing
It's
Michigan right now.
Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and
USC.
USC.
Yep.
It'll make the season a lot more interesting.
Yeah, well. It's pretty crazy. It's not like a guaranteed in the championship anymore.
Yeah. Which good.
Yeah.
It'll mean I feel like it'll give me a better more motivation to watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
Because 80% of the time it's like, okay, they're playing fucking Illinois. Great.
Blowout, yeah.
And I also think it's beneficial. I know they're changing the playoff structure next year, but
yeah,
it's still beneficial for our strength of schedule if we're actually playing good people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. We're gonna have like the strongest fucking strength of schedules out there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Barlos had to take his son to the hospital.
Nightmare.
Well, that'd be a pretty intense nightmare if that was the case.
He's in a waking nightmare.
Yeah.
Is that what he said? His son was having a nightmare?
Yeah, that was he posted in Discord.
Oh.
Yeah, like you even care.
I don't. Fuck that kid. Little punk.
Eric, cut this out. But anyways, one of these days in the near future, there will be bagels in my periphery with peanut butter and chocolate sauce and honey.
Yeah, what
Gonna
did you do
eat.
for the chocolate, Brad? Did you just like get like Hershey's chocolate sauce?
Chocolate morsels.
Okay. I was gonna
Uh,
say that's kind of what I think would work. It's like get like chips or something.
yeah.
Get melting chocolate and just.
Honestly, I would just do Nutella.
Ugh, I can't do Nutella.
Mm.
It's not chocolatey enough.
It has hazelnuts in it, and I'm allergic. I mean, I guess I
Well,
could
Aw.
do it.
well, more importantly, it's not chocolatey enough.
Be real spicy.
Oh, it's spicy chocolate.
I mean, I think if I had dark chocolate, I would have. That's my favorite, but I had just milk chocolate morsels.
Okay, hear me out. Your next experiment, Brad. We're gonna do peanut butter. You should do chunky peanut butter. So it's like the peanut butter with the bits in it.
The creamy or sorry, crunchy.
Yeah, yeah. Do crunchy peanut butter. You're gonna add peanut butter chips to it.
Nice.
All right, hear me out. So you do. You do your peanut butter. You do your chocolate sauce on your bagel.
Hmm.
But you instead of honey, you do marshmallow fluff.
Oh damn. And actually, I've just been doing just like instead of coffee, honey water some days.
I'm so excited to hear what you're gonna say.
No, honey water. That's it.
Okay, I
He's
thought
got-
he was gonna be in relation to marshmallow fluff. I was like, bro, what are you doing? It's replacement
Dude,
of
I've
coffee
just
with
got like
fluff.
this like lab in my kitchen just doing crazy shit.
So wait,
Oh man.
have you heard of tea before, Brad? It might be able to interest you in something called tea.
Yeah.
I don't do
Interesting.
hot tea. I only do, like iced black tea. Like that's
It's wild to me that you're like something hot, great. Something hot with honey, great.
um
Tea,
I
hot
wait,
tea
hold
with
on.
honey.
I d-
Get the
I
fuck out of
do
here.
I do hot chai tea latte,
Chai tea latte
but
is good.
I would like to try traditional chai tea. That would be great.
Yeah, I'll tell you
Um,
if you find you like the latte,
Mhm,
um, I mean like if you find a tea that you like, or like even spices that you like,
mhm,
I do the very English thing and just put a little bit of milk in it, kind of give it some more body.
mhm.
I used to do a lot of green tea lattes with like a minty green tea. I put a little bit of soy milk in there. That's really good.
you ever fuck with matcha lattes?
I have had matcha. Yeah, I like it.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I used to just do matcha lattes just on like the stove top. Just basically heat it up with milk essentially.
Yeah,
Mhm, mhm.
Get some matcha powder and whisk it in.
I
Okay,
used to use it a lot for smoothies.
Yeah, I can see it too for like.
that's something. I for Christmas got an immersion blender, so I need to start
Oh, nice.
figuring out how to do protein shakes, stuff like that.
I didn't hear any screaming.
Um, yeah, immersion blenders are cool. That's like one of the only handful of kitchen things that I don't have.
Mm.
That I'm like, I should get this at some point.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes. Yeah.
What you should do is you should.
Speaking of nightmares, do you guys want to hear one that I had in my childhood often?
Is it a
Yes.
reoccurring nightmare?
Reoccurring. So
Mm.
back
Is it ET?
close. So Ronald McDonald toys, with Happy Meals.
Yeah.
At one point, they were running like VHS tapes of the McDonald's show. So it'd be like Ronald McDonald animated, and he's hanging out with the Hamburglar and Grimace and whoever that little like bird girl was. I don't know. You tell me. But
Yeah.
there was this episode took place on Grimace Island. Something like we need to go find this fun artifact inside a volcano. I don't freaking know. And so there's these tribal Grimace people. And naturally I watched that. I'm going to bed as a kid and I see my dream in this like cartoon animation world. So to animate myself, I'm a redhead at the time, a Chucky from Rugrats essentially. So I've got glasses, I got the frizzy red hair,
Oh my god.
shorts and shit. And I'm being chased by this tribal group of grimace creatures. And they've got like spears, they've got like, like
Jesus.
Indian chieftain like, headwear and like grass skirts. And they're just like chasing me with these spears through a forest. And I'm running and running and running, and I get snared up in a net. And then like the dream ends with them like thrusting spears like up at me over the chest.
Jesus.
I'm like, fuck.
Violent. What the fuck?
I had no chance. So
I was really
I
hoping to
figured
find.
it with them cannibalizing me or something. It's not even cannibalizing because I don't know what species they freaking are.
I was really trying to find tribal grimace people on the internet. I'm not succeeding.
Somebody's definitely
tribal grimace.
Ronald McDonald cartoon. So the Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald.
The reoccurring nightmare that I had that was not ET. And it's one that I still have to this day, but not as often. Is being chased by T-Rex. Like you're being chased by T-Rex, and you go into the library. You're hiding in like between the bookshelves, and he like rips the ceiling off. And he's like sticking his snoot in between the bookshelves to try and get you. What's
Yikes,
wild
man.
about this is that I was listening to a podcast, and they asked this question like, "What are your recurring nightmares?" And one of the guys on the show said that exact same thing. And for Billy, who would know this was Gavin who said this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's
Get
wild.
like verbatim said like the same step by step, and I was like, wow, who would not have put that as like a common recurring nightmare.
Yeah, it's like you seem like it'd be really specific.
I have to imagine it was probably like Jurassic Park type thing that set that off.
Whatever, yeah, wherever it's rooted.
Shit. Yeah, that's tribal grimace people.
Yeah.
That seems vaguely racist, but
Yeah, it does. It's real racist.
that's why I can't find any pictures of it. They're trying to delete his existence.
Yeah. Dude, I love how let me see if I can get it. How happy these things are. Fucking nuggets.
Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about those.
Oh,
Fucking happy
nuggets.
as shit. Look as happy as I do with the fucking 40-piece nugs.
40-piece nugs.
Also,
They
like
used to
this,
sell,
I feel like this picture of like the whole gang that you posted. It's like all these people are in costume, right? And they have like a mask or something on,
yeah.
or a bodysuit, and then these three little fucking hairballs at the bottom.
Yeah, what the fuck are those?
Like I think you think like
Those are the fry. Those are the fry kids. They're like supposed to be piles of fries.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Fry kids.
It makes as much sense as anything else. Or the fries would be blue or red.
It's the ketchup, the mustard, and the blue.
The blueberry
Oh,
sauce.
kids. All right.
But like,
Or like
but,
when there was the blue ketchup and purple ketchup, green
Yeah,
ketchup.
Yeah.
Ugh.
but that's not a full kid in there, right? They like
No, dude, there's no way. They're probably made props that they made.
well, that's terrifying.
Yeah,
Like
no,
somebody like has those in their house
Contortionists,
somewhere.
all
Good
kinds of-
point. Ron, good point.
yeah. Well, because everything else does look like somebody in a costume or a mask,
Right.
except for those disembodied children with feet.
Those like
Yeah,
those are the
probably
things that gave birth to the Furbies.
Yeah. Man, kind of rabbit hole can I go
If
down with
I-
McDonald's?
If I ever do my hypothetical having a one shot for the first time, you guys should all be these characters.
That'd be great.
Because
I'm all
they're the
all for that.
inspiration. We create the backstories.
The Hamburglar is obviously the rogue.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see.
God.
We have to find something like this where it was like Grimace.
I don't know who the fuck
Hamburger.
I don't know who the fuck the hamburger head is, but I feel like that's your wizard or your bard maybe.
Yeah, maybe the bard.
What's the
I'm thinking
mayor?
the guy in the
Hamburger.
back left would be a wizard or maybe an artificer.
Yeah.
Grimace. I would guess Grimace is a barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
100%. He's a fucking
rages.
100% a psychopath.
We got the fighter as the pirate guy.
Pirate, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. The bird. I mean, maybe a druid. I don't
Birdie?
know. Ranger.
She's like a pilot, right? 'Cause she has the scarf and the.
Oh yeah, she's the artificer. There you go.
Wow, he was so sad. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Must have been a rough one.
He hasn't been that
Right.
upset in
How's he doing
months.
now?
He's asleep.
Okay.
The
I
Fry
got him down.
Kids. They are the Fry Kids. Confirmed.
He's
Yeah.
usually really good for Erica, for Rhiannon's sister, but like when he gets like it was beyond like he was like hyperventilating, crying. I was like, dang, dude. Whew. So sorry about that. Sorry for cutting
Spooky.
20 minutes
Oh,
of the game.
It was Grimacy.
wait. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I don't know.
Grimacy.
Oh, Grimacy. Yeah. You have a bunch of pictures to catch up on, Michael Barlow's like
Yeah.
Gary Coleman and Ronnie.
We're
Coleman.
trying to guess what's in the cave. This is what we come up with.
Yeah.
I think it's one or
Yeah,
more
we-
of these characters.
We think it's the Fry Kids. Fry Kids.
I will say the scary part about the Ronald McDonald show is that there's a little bit of live action in it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and there's this dog. Let me show that.
Got that dog in me.
Oh
Ooh.
Jesus Christ!
Oh no.
Why does it have people eyes?
Oh. Yeah, I remember that.
Ugh.
Fuck.
Captain Crook. Okay.
Yeah, some of these I don't
Oh,
recognize.
Like that. Gross.
Well, it's weird. Well, not weird. It's just funny because there's like clearly there's stuff from like the 70s, the 80s, and 90s, and they like kind of adapt.
Yeah.
But like most of the stuff still is pretty recognizable.
Yeah, I remember those little like McNugget toys. Different characters.
In this, why does Ronald McDonald have a fucking pizza on his face?
Oh yeah,
It is the
he
most
is a
terrifying
psychopath.
version of Ronald McDonald I've ever seen.
Yeah. Everything else looks pretty standard, but then Ronald McDonald in the one picture he looks like an absolute fucking insane person. He looks like somebody who's in the maximum security prison. That's in design.
Looks like a menace.
Behind bars, it has a mask.
Yeah.
So it's
This-
kind of what I imagine P-Pop
Here.
looks like.
I'll do you a solid, Barlos. I'll just put that there for you for later, in case you wanna make a fucking Ronald McDonald.
A sequel to The King.
That's good. That's gonna be one of your 10 men that you pick up at the prison.
Fucking
Yeah, like I said, he's going in the prison.
yeah.
Prison.
Wait,
Uh,
you're a prison guard?
the- I didn't say I was a guard.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
okay.
he's been like disguising himself among the guards for a little while.
Nobody had caught it until we see him. We're like, you clearly are not a guard. Go back into fucking prison. Get it. Go on.
How many like insight checks have we failed?
Yeah.
All right, so you're about 10 minutes away from this rock structure. The Periton has just come back and let you know that Teth is over there. Teth, what are you doing on this rock? You guys just start talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, no, we just talked about Ronald McDonald and Brad's reoccurring nightmare.
Yeah, we were talking about nightmares, and that's where it ended up.
Gotcha.
We had talked about having Ion Vern just basically jump up on Ion, and then Ion's flying back.
Yep. So I'm gonna get there first.
Yep. Yeah, I guess as far as Teth goes, he would just continue to see if he can listen and pick out any details without necessarily approaching too much closer to the situation.
If you're listening intently,
And
you
I don't know if this is something that would help, but I believe that I now have tremor sense. So if there's like anything that would be like, I don't know, a bunch of shuffling feet or like something in the ground or something fucking weird going on. Because we are in a desert, so I just immediately think of sandworms.
right. Okay. With your tremor sense, give me a nature check, please.
Sure. This is just a straight roll. 15, nature.
For a 15, with a 15 for nature, you do not detect any type of motion inside or around this structure. As far as like tectonic movement goes, burrowing goes. You don't sense a lot of movement inside of the cave, either on top or below the surface. All you hear is as you get closer, you hear what sounds like a single creature, um, just yelling for help in common.
Next thing Teth would do is he's going to expend a charge on his armament and give himself dark vision and see if he can, because this cave's dark, right? Like going into it.
It's dark. Yep.
Yeah. He'll expend a charge and give himself dark vision up to 60 feet and try to look around the outskirts because this is pretty much over the mouth of a cave, right?
Yes.
And then it just goes into the mountainside or wherever we're at.
Yep.
He's going to basically do a once around as he kind of starts to slowly go in and try and see if he can find any like traps or hidden mechanisms as he kind of he wants to go probably about 10 or 15 feet in and see if he can get a better idea of what's going on outside of potentially somebody who's a prisoner.
Yeah. So you go about 10, 15 feet in. I'll give you a token here. And you can immediately see a human-esque person, a young man, trapped under a series of rocks. He's in about the center of the cave, and you can clearly see him. He's within 60 feet of you, and he sees you as you walk into the cave. and I'll say, "Please, sir, please help me. I've been stuck under these rocks for hours and I can't get out."
Is he? Does he look like he's bleeding out?
You do not see any blood at first glance, no, but his both of his legs are pretty firmly trapped under the rocks.
Okay. Uh,
Tell him we can't help.
just be like, sorry, bro.
Later,
Uh,
Doug.
No.
Teth will put his finger to his non-existent lips, and he will stand there, and he is going to wait until the party shows up.
So you telling him to be quiet,
Yep.
No more
Yep.
yelling.
and
then
he'll,
just
he'll say, "Okay, it hurts, but I'll try." And he'll stop yelling because he knows that you're there now. But it'll just kind of subside to a kind of dull whimper. You can hear him just kind of his legs are being crushed by rocks.
yeah.
Supposedly.
As long as he's not actively gonna die in the next 5 minutes or bleeding out, as inhumane as it seems, he's gonna wait for people to show up. At least for Vern to show up.
Make a medicine check actually. See what you can see.
Balls, 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 balls. Balls of steel.
35 feet away.
Ugh, 8.
With an 8, you are actually going to believe in the opposite direction. You feel like this might be worse than it seems from the surface. The rock is huge. It's larger than you, and he is underneath it. So you might think, or you think that this person might be at risk of losing limbs if he stays under there much longer.
Balls.
You are about 5 minutes away at this point.
Can
On your way
I
back.
go ahead and pop a divine sense if I move? I'm gonna move another. Well, actually, let me double check the range on that. 60. Okay, 60 feet. Yeah, pop a divine sense just to see if anything else seems out of place.
Gosh, I always forget about what are the creature types for a
Fey,
divine
fiend,
sense?
celestial, and maybe undead.
That's what I was thinking too. None of those register. I'm just wondering.
Uh,
Every time you say that, I'm like,
Look over at your
anything-
shelf.
uh,
Your flashcard's
Celestial-
over by your shelf.
yeah, celestial fiend undead.
yeah, you don't register anything from those creature types. He seems quite ordinary.
Teth will start to speak to him, but still kind of maintain his distance and say, "There's help coming on the way. What were you doing here?"
I was crawling around looking for treasure. There's supposed to be buried treasure in this place in the desert. Nobody likes to go near it because it's so close to the wilds. So I figured it'd be right for the picking, but the cave started collapsing and I got stuck under these rocks.
Do I believe him?
I don't know. That's up to you. I can't tell you what to believe.
Let me let me rephrase that. Insight check.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think I have. That's right. My insight's balls. Man, I feel like I should trust this guy, but 21.
With the 21, I mean, other than a, a person hiking by himself in the desert right on the border to the wilds, seeming a little bit suspect. It does seem like this person genuinely is in a lot of pain. and he may have been here accidentally.
And this rock is like probably the size of the rock on the monitor. Or on the map, sorry. Like the rock is big
Yeah,
as fuck.
consider it. It's about the size of a large creature. So 8 by 8, 10 by 10 feet. It's a boulder.
Where's this rock you're speaking about?
He's on a different map.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Seth is
Has,
in the,
has
Okay.
Vern arrived yet?
Yeah, are we?
Yeah.
I'm guessing the whole group's going that way too.
yeah. You guys are a little bit further out. You still have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I would say like 5 minutes now, traveling at the elephant speed. Vern, you would be there. Would you like to enter the cave?
Yes. Teth, are you okay? Your
Come in,
deer
Vern.
came without you. Oh, okay. Ooh, wow, this is quite a.
Ions.
Oh, you're way up there, Teth. Oh, there you go.
Stay here at the entrance. I'm going to help him. I'm suspicious of the surroundings and the situation.
Is he okay?
We're about to see.
Not okay. I'm being crushed by this rock.
This rock
Oh
is
my.
back to this rock. It's huge, right? It's a big fucking rock.
It's a big fucking rock.
Teth, if you you've been talking with him for a while. If you think he's safe, I could try some things to get him out.
It's either that or I'm gonna shatter this rock.
Oh, you can do that. I was gonna suggest if you want to go and check it out and see if the rock is kind of firmly planted, we could reduce him and pull him out.
Sorry.
From
I just
underneath it.
imagine like Tess like, oh hey, I'm gonna see if I can lift the rock that's too big for me, and then like Vern reduces him and like accidentally drops the rock and squishes him.
That's what I'm worried about. That's why I want to see if it's like secure or
Right.
not.
Yeah. Just keep an eye on me or
Okay.
on the surroundings. I don't trust this.
What about reducing the rock? Or
Yeah.
can you not do it?
Good idea.
How did I not think about that? Or wait,
Does it
Can I?
not work on an item or something?
I think it's be a creature. I think.
Okay.
Well, maybe I don't know. I'll take a look.
While you're looking, I will approach.
Mhm. Or an object.
There you go. If it was all one, like if it was one big ass rock.
As you approach, he seems more and more relieved as you get closer. Um, I'll let you keep the same insight. It seems genuine. He is whimpering less. He certainly seems more. I guess in your aura, he can't be frightened anyway. So he
Yeah.
feels more at ease with you being next to him. What are you going to do when you get up to him?
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to get this off of you. Depending on if my ally has a spell, we'll try that in combination with me moving this rock. If not, um, we'll go to an alternative method. Just so you know, this is incredibly suspicious, so that is why I'm a bit hesitant.
Yeah, I'm never gonna travel out by myself ever again. I've learned my lesson.
Make sure you have a battle buddy.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay.
Vern, do you have that spell you were talking about?
I do, Teth. What do you want me to target?
Rock.
You got it. Vern will
then-
cross a little closer, and once he sees Teth firmly plant his, arms wrapped around the stone, he will cast Reduce.
As you're doing that, the rest of the party would have arrived. What would you guys like to do?
I'd just kind of watch. I guess I don't know. Help. I'd help.
You're 40
Teth.
feet down.
What's that?
So this opening is 40 feet up. So there are some you will
Oh.
see um, a series of uh, very thin kind of paths winding around the outside of this rock structure. So there are definitely ways to get up there just by moving. It would take several minutes though of
Okay.
precise climbing to do that. Um,
I call out to Ion.
yeah.
Looks down. He could telepathically communicate with me, so you could relay that you guys have arrived, essentially.
Hey buddy, right here. You wanna get me right up there?
He'll just
Yeah, he can start ferrying you guys up. Who's going up first?
Urzak.
So he will, with his flying speed, he'll get down there. Um, so we'll say Urzak is going up first. While Ion is going down to pick up Urzak, Vern, you are casting Reduce on the rock. So let's play that out real quick for the rock. Shrinks one size, so it's about it's a manageable boulder now, like 3 feet by 3 feet.
and then, assuming I can reasonably grab it, I'll try to lift it up enough for him to either slide out or completely remove the rock off of him.
Give me an athletics check, Teth.
What is that? Oh, it's much better than all the other stuff I've been rolling.
Say
But
it should be that.
it's naturally going to be balls because I have. Oh, not bad. 24.
Nice. With a 24, yeah, you can definitely like you kind of step in and really put your body behind it. You can get you kind of lean it up off of his legs, and you move it off, and you see there's pretty significant damage done to both of his legs. Unfortunately, they were crushed under a rock for who knows how long. Um, give me a perception check, Teth.
Perception. +7. God, I always forget my passives. Excellent. +21.
Nice. Hold on. You move the rock off successfully, and you are you still have dark vision, so you have awareness of what's going on around you. Um, he's just a little bit sneakier, and this humanoid is going to grab onto your left leg, Teth. And as you don't notice it at first because you're still focused on moving the boulder. You don't quite notice him grabbing on. And it's a little bit too late when you do notice. Urzak, you are just getting into the mouth of the cave. You are walking in. Vern, you can see this as well. The humanoid's arms begin to mold together, and his body reshapes into a giant tongue.
Ugh.
As this is happening, the entire cavern begins to shake. Not earthquake shake. It is molding back around and closing into you guys. Urzak, the mouth of the cave is going to shut behind you. So the three of you are encased inside. And the entire surface area of the cave, the floor, the walls, the ceiling, begin to wobble like it's a jelly. From the outside, you will see this entire rock structure not only change texture but change color. It will reform into what can only be described as a giant Slimer from Ghostbusters, if you know what that is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Teth, Vern, and Urzak, you are now trapped inside of the acidic mouth of a gargantuan uh, white maw ooze.
Nice.
And I need all three of you to make Constitution saving throws, please.
I will call out, by the way, for anyone who time is important to, that it is 9:05.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've got a
yeah.
thing in the morning.
This will be the very last thing we do.
Take a natural 20.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
what is bardic inspiration? You usually have to call it before you use it.
1d10.
You have to call it before you know the result, though.
Before you know the result, you can roll.
Roll.
Yeah, but you can't know if it succeeded or not.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see how I roll. Yep, you're using that. Let's see. No, 16.
All of you save.
That's
Urzak,
unfortunate.
with a natural 20, I would say that you are. I'm going to call you immune to this for the next 24 hours on a
Hell yeah.
28. Teth, I also need a dex save, please, from you.
Dex save. None of this is. This is a poison, right?
It is an acid.
Okay.
You saved from the acid.
21 dex.
All right, you save on that as well. That is all good. None of you are going to take any damage right now. But for do you both have dark vision, Urzak and
Mhm.
Vern?
No.
Uh oh.
It is dark. The moment that the mouth of the cave shuts, it is complete blackness, and you can only hear the sounds of sloshing and gurgling as the three of you try and step around on what is now a very wet and sticky floor. And you guys all see from the outside
Is
this.
that a big boy? Oh, that's a big boy.
Ooh.
And that's where we will leave off for tonight.
Ooh.
Well, have fun
Remember-
inside, guys.
Remember you're asking about a 96 having to be good, Trent? That was why I was
Uh,
suspicious.
Yeah.
I used I got all these cool books for Christmas, so I've been using a lot of the rollable tables in there, and they use like a it's almost like a curve rather than front to back. Like 0 is horrible, 100 is great. So like 50 and 51 are the best options, and then the ends are the worst options.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
really cool, like how like that, like it mind fucks you. You're like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then you just get nailed by something
Yeah.
horrible.
Let's
Yeah,
throw
a
some
lot of
salt
the-
on it.
A lot of the random encounters tables in the
Nice.
core rule books are like 0 is like a CR like 1, and then
Mhm.
100 is like an ancient dragon.
Yeah.
So
These ones are really good. I like these books because they focus less on the mechanics and more of like what is the most amount of trouble that we can get your party into that's non-deadly at first, and you can like ramp up like a 0 would be like an annoying situation, and then the or I guess a 50 would be annoying situations, and then a 0 or a 100 is you get stuck inside of the mouth of an acidic ooze and you can't see anything.
Well,
Cool guys.
I got
Thank
10
you
feet of
for-
blind sight.
Good stuff.
That's true. You can see for 15 feet.
I can see 10 feet of ooze.
And Vern's feet. You can see Vern's feet. I didn't move you to the because we're done tonight, but this is what the map looks like. Herzog.
The writing's on
where
the
you
walls,
are.
guys. It just looks like intestines.
It does kind of look like intestines. You're not wrong.
You're an
right.
intestine.
I'll have an updated desert map for you next week, and cool. We haven't rolled initiative yet, so you guys have to figure out a way out of this before the ooze realizes it's not just eating 3 people; it's fighting 9 people.
Gonna get fucking a thunder moonbeam inside of its anus.
Yeah.
Summon acid reflux.
And some frost breath and some chain lightning.
We'll just poke it from the outside.
All right, guys. I'm gonna take off. Sorry, I took a chunk out of the middle of the game. I apologize.
You're good.
Is
You are good. Yeah.
good about sleep.
Brad, good
but-
luck tomorrow.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you,
with
Trent.
everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Let us know you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Barlos,
Well,
yeah.
have
I have
good
a
night.
surgery tomorrow, so I think you missed that.
Oh, nice. Well, good luck, man. Yeah.
Thanks. Trent had something similar, so
Yep. During Assassins, actually.
good.
When you
good
first
to
met me,
know.
I had a black eye and like the big line on my face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep. All
Well,
right,
yeah.
so-
You're gonna be great. Yeah. Good luck, Brad.
Yeah,
It
smooth
worked on
sailing.
Trent.
Yeah, you
It'll
got
work on
this.
me. All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Night.
All right. See you guys.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See ya.